Hello everyone, I, as always, am Chaos in the Sky, and welcome to the final match of this year's Anime Villainous Tournament arc of good old 2025. We've got Codokay versus Naomi as our final two for this year. They've made it all the way through qualifiers and to the end of the brackets, and now they're going to duke it out to see who takes that coveted first and second place for this year's tournament. Very exciting stuff. Important to note, this is going to be a best of 5. All the other games have been best of 3s. This one's a best of 5, so the first player to win 3 games total will be this year's champion, and whoever ends up losing this match will be second place, which is still a great place to end at in the tournament. We had over 50 people, I believe, in qualifiers, and then the 16 in the tournament, so great to get to the finals alone. But let's see who comes out on top in this year's tournament arc and get right into this game. All right, here it is, everyone. The final game of this year's Anime Villainous Tournament arc. Naomi is going to win the dice roll as we have this final match between Naomi and Codokay, who is called Defet on Steam. This is it. This is for all the marbles. Very, very exciting stuff. We'll see how this tournament arc has been a wild one. A year of upsets. A lot of high-profile players in the community losing early, whether it be to a bit of bad luck, to some new upcomers, like just playing really well, so on and so forth. So many things went down. Great stuff this year. Very great tournament. So and now it all wraps up here between Naomi and Codokay. We'll see who the winner is for the 3rd ever tournament arc. We are going to see the Orochimaru ban from Naomi, and then the Merrick ban from Codokay. So no Orochi, no Merrick. Not banning Isabella, which is, Codokay is a main of Orochi and Isabella, I think, are Codokay's 2 go-tos. Naomi has decided that she wants to deal with Orochi less than she wants to try and deal with Isabella. I wonder who Naomi is going to play here. Codokay picked very quickly, which leads me to believe that face-down card is Isabella. We will most likely be seeing Isabella out the gate here. The real question is who Naomi is going to play, because Naomi is always a bit of a wild card, especially with Merrick out. Merrick is the only one I know that Naomi really, defaults to. I also know that Naomi always... next year, I'm going to have to institute a, you get 30 seconds for choosing your villain. I absolutely respect taking your time to work out who you want to play, but it's always Naomi. It's always Naomi who takes, a minute just to choose what villain to play. And she's still thinking about it. She's thinking about it so long that Butter has already pulled down the things and they're spawning in Merrick down here. Which they shouldn't have done because it's off base now. Oh, I think Naomi's finally made a decision. Maybe? 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 Are we gonna see it here? Why did they pull these out early? Butter, what are you doing? Please flip the cards, Your Honor. Tetsuo versus Isabella. This is insane. I think I get to do Tetsuo in the thumbnail, though, which is pretty wild. You know, Naomi has done some crazy stuff with Tetsuo before. If she manages this, I'm, all the more power to her. She is going first, which is useful. But, man, can Isabella just... I feel like Isabella can just run away with this matchup if Naomi lets up or lets her guard down for even a second, or just gets some bad luck, to be honest. Here we go. Naomi, of course, going straight to District 17 slums, take advantage of that open top fate, and immediately gets fire, which is going to do basically nothing for most of this game, but we'll see how it goes. Do we have a card play? What has Naomi got in hand here? Throwing out an unhinged laughter just to get rid of a debris and get more draw, get more hand movement going. Words. Surprised that she'd just toss away a debris immediately when a 4-strengther could come out at any moment. Codokay is going to head over to the small forest. Do some discarding, play premium farm, and then get a 4-strengther, as was foretold in the prophecy that I spoke of moments ago. Choosing to play Canada over Colonel Shikishima, I think that's fair. It's not like Tetsuo's villain ability is just getting his tokens gone. It's not like he's going to get a token away in this setup right now, to be honest. So getting Canada out, who could potentially buff other heroes, especially when Isabella is very likely to go to Grassy Field next turn, I think is a good idea. And we're going to see another Fate, no heroes. So that's just going to be an Insider's Knowledge to lower that power. Not getting a hero. Isabella's Fate deck has only got 7 heroes in it, but not getting a single hero in the first 4 cards is quite unlucky for Naomi, getting no amount. And then both premium farms early for Codokay is very good. A whiff into Hallucinations, honestly, is pretty good for Naomi. Oh, and we saw a Shockwave to weaken Canada. Getting a whiff there, honestly, after this awful start on fading Codokay, is pretty good for Naomi, I would say. It will give her a little more breathing room to work with here. She's definitely going to go get rid of Canada. Just going to throw out a Cultist to get one there so that it can potentially allow some Akira Reborns and whatnot later. And that'll be your turn. And then Codokay is going to go right back over to Small Forest. Get her Bell out. And probably do some more discarding because she just wants to draw into... honestly, the longer this game goes, the more Naomi has opportunities to do some Tetsuo nonsense. So, honestly, Codokay probably just wants to speed to Demon List. Wow, and another basically whiff that just gets rid of Cultist. Does that trigger Premium Farm? Yep. So that will be 4 power for Isabella. Not hitting a hero there is very good for Naomi, getting a little bit of luck back in exchange for those awful early fates on Isabella. Will Naomi try and get a hero by going to military school here because it's very hero-dense in Codokay's Fate deck right now? Or will Naomi take this opportunity to try and get a lot of power gain and maybe throw some cards out at Highway Overpass? Time will tell. She's thinking really hard about it. Hi, dog. My dog just came running into the room. My sister's dog is in the hallway playing with a chew toy. I think they were growling at each other for a second. They probably both wanted the toy, and I was like, what the heck is that noise? We're going to see Norman with Mom as an enemy here, so Norman is going to go to the Small Forest and block that up. Okay. There's the Demon List. And then a bunch of discarding again, followed by a Fate. Kay and Akira going to choose Kay. Are you going to put Akira on top? Just going to let Akira go. Not going to worry about Akira on this early deck cycle. Probably Codokay just wants to guarantee that she can pull more whatever it is I'm thinking of. Prosthesis, all right. And then immediately using it just to draw 2 cards. Wants to find something better to play. Probably trying to get to her Organ Jars as quick as she can. And there's one right there. I think Codokay is just trying to make sure that she can easily get more heroes to keep that top Fate locked down. Doesn't want Naomi to start getting some Fate momentum. We're going to see the Demon List pull and gets Phil here. I think the other 2 5-strengthers were in there, so had a chance at getting any of them. Other than Norman. Then we're going to see playing tag to get a -1 on Norman and Phil. And then throwing out Vita for potential use later. Way over at Gracefield House so that if Ray comes out, he has to go to Gracefield, which isn't a great place to cover. If you want to use Ray to get the Vita out of there. Speaking of, honestly, Ray at the gate isn't too bad here right now. Get the Bell put back in there. Dawn, honestly, is also pretty good here. Just to chunk into some of this power, you can cover the power gain at Grassy Field instead of having to put Ray at the gate and take away 2 power while you're at it. I don't think it would be a bad play by any means. And Naomi is hearing the words that I'm saying and debating them. Deciding if she wants to just hit Bell with Ray and take away that top activate, which is what she's going to do in the end, and just let Dawn go. And that is her turn. Did she play anything? I don't think she played anything. Saving up power? Getting Sister Crone out, so Small Forest can easily be opened on Naomi's next turn, and this is not getting uncovered, so it most likely will happen. We're going to see Hallucinations and Takashi here. Probably just cover Neo Tokyo Stadium to stop. This is enough power to where if there is an Organ Jar and a playable card in hand, that Naomi could go to Neo Tokyo and get rid of that first token, so probably just want to stop that from happening. You see Naomi go over to Highway Overpass and use Prosthesis to draw 2 again. Just trying to go through the deck quick and get to all of the important cards. More Organ Jars. Whatever it is I'm thinking of. Akira Reborn. So on and so forth. We're going to see Kaori played here into an Akira Reborn with the Prosthesis to blow up K. And then move Kaori back to Highway Overpass because Yamagata is very likely to show up. We're going to see Codokay go over to Small Forest and kill Norman with the Crone move. You're going to see another playing tag to just weaken Phil down a little bit more. He is only 1 away from being harvestable, and Vita is out, so it would be quite easy to get the harvest. You're going to see a big discard and then a Fate. Why am I getting messaged? Ooh. Alright. Sorry, I had to make sure that didn't need immediate response. We're going to see Masaru and Onishi here, and just going to throw Masaru on the District 17 slums. Can't be hit by Akira Reborn, so that'll force Naomi to go over there and punch him manually at some point. And then, yeah, played the -1 strength on Phil and did some discarding. Pretty strong position for Naomi, about to get the 3 strengther in there, probably hoping to pull Emma. Definitely hoping to pull Emma with the next Demon List pull. Meanwhile, Tetsuo has not gotten a token down yet. So definitely Naomi playing from the back foot here. They're checking the discard to see what's going on in there. I think Gilda and Emma are the only 2 heroes in there, but I might be wrong. There might be... Oh, Connie. Gilda, Emma, and Connie, I think, are all in there. Getting Emma in a Fate here would be fantastic for Naomi. It would cover back up the top Fate and bring Phil back to full strength. However, in exchange... Or the risk there, I mean, is what I mean to say. The risk there is that if you don't pull Emma... And if you pull the other 2 heroes, or even just one of the other heroes, it increases the chance that Codokay will get Emma. And if Codokay gets Emma with Demon List, it's going to be a really bad position for Naomi. We're going to see an Organ Jar played, and then just Clash Masaru. We're going to see a Harvest to get Ray out of there. Discarding Daily Report instead of trying to get some power with it soon when you're a little low. Interesting. Kaisuke and Kyoko didn't get Yamagata. That's the last Fate there. Honestly, I could see like Kaisuke at District 17 and then Motorcycle on Kaisuke or Takashi. Probably on Kaisuke would be annoying. Kyoko is also annoying at District 17. Especially since Naomi isn't there right now, or is there right now, I mean. Can't go straight to Kyoko and get her out. Hoping for Emma. Didn't get Emma. Mom is an enemy to take those tokens off of Phil, or could use Gilda. Gilda really does not do much here. Really going to be hoping that... if Codokay goes for a Demon List, that it's a 50-50 on if she gets Phil or Isabella. Or not Phil. Phil's out. Connie. Connie or Isabella. Not Isabella. Connie or... Oh my goodness, I've had such a long day. I recorded the 3rd place match earlier, and then I did my usual stream, and now we're here. Honestly, I've been commentating so much Annaville, 16 games over the course of like 3 weeks or something like that. So much Annaville commentary, and still doing my usual testing and whatnot with the crew, with QA. Just been doing a lot. Now I'm checking to see who this is. I'm pretty sure it's Yamagata, and yes, unless Yamagata was pulled on like the first Fate or 2, and I don't recall. I think it's Yamagata, but I could be wrong. Gonna move Kaori over and then presumably do Akira Reborn. Indeed we are. Risking the Yamagata hitting Kaori shenanigans. It's not gonna be this turn because with Crone out of position, Codokay can't uncover this, but next turn very likely to happen. Which is not gonna be great for Naomi. Major power loss. Major power loss and Kaori being at the top fate of all things is a very bad combo when Yamagata's coming up. Codokay is going to head over to the gate. You going to pay 2 and take the 50-50 on getting Emma or not? I think we saw the other mom as an enemy pass earlier, so there's not an immediate risk of getting hit with one unless it gets off the top of the reshuffle. And the reshuffle would only happen if this top card isn't Emma or... what's his face? Or Connie. Gonna see the bell thrown out, activating the bell. And playing tag to play it and weaken Phil and Gilda. That gets Phil down to 0. Not enough power to activate now. So not taking the 50-50 risk. And then we're back over to Naomi. Naomi could go to District 17 and has a decent chance of pulling Emma. It's like a 66% chance of pulling Emma, which would be really good here. And did get it. This was in Naomi's favor because if Demon List had been activated, I think Connie was the top. So Codokay would have gotten Connie either way, but instead now Naomi gets Emma, which is very good for her. Taking a look at the discard pile, seeing what else she's going to do here. 6 cards in hand because of all that prosthesin she's been doing. Only halfway through the villain deck. Both Akira Reborn's gone and no pills out is a little less than ideal. No cultists have been showing up either. We also know that Kaori is about to get hit back into hand by Yamagata almost certainly. Unless I missed Yamagata earlier and this is something different. I think it's Yamagata, but I could be wrong. Alright, sorry, I had to tap out again for a second. What did we see? Oh, excruciating power. Sorry, it took my throat. Excruciating power just to gain 2 and get some hand movement going. We're going to see Grassy Field straight into a Harvest to kill Emma. I think this is Yamagata, but I could be wrong. He might have passed by earlier. Honestly, I think you full fade here no matter what. Worst case scenario, you pull like Shikishima with him, but not a huge deal. We are going to see the full fate. And it's Motorcycle with Yamagata. You just play Yamagata to Kaori. It's like a slam dunk play. Yamagata to Kaori is always good, but man, is it especially good when Kaori is unfortunately at the top fate. I'm pretty sure that Naomi had to have Kaori in that bad position earlier to make use of Akira Reborn's, because I imagine she just hasn't lucked into her cultists. What is Naomi going to do next? Going to go over to Military Hospital? Move over the Organ Jar? Because Soul is back in play on reshuffles. Makes sense. Don't want to stack him anymore. There's Lady Miyako. Still no pills to be able to get back into Akira Reborn, though. I think Codokay is checking for Akira Reborns right now. We're going to see a double prison break, so that's just going to move Phil. And then we're back over to Codokay. Going over to the gate, very low on power. Finally got Grandmother Sarah to start getting those discounts. Maybe now we'll finally see some of these fire cards that are available for some of these scheduled cards that Naomi is allowed to look at. even though it won't do a whole lot for her. Scheduling radar. So the way they're going to do this is they're just going to leave them face up since fire makes it public information. This is what you typically do when fire is out, is just not even have the cards face down so that the players don't have to bother doing shift alt all the time. Naomi is going to go to Neo Tokyo Stadium, probably wants to finally get rid of Takashi, going to get a pills out, and then going to activate the pills for a Akira Reborn. Indeed, so going to clean her territory here, get rid of Takashi, and get rid of Yamagata, so... And then there's radar for Codokay. This isn't awful for Naomi. I'm actually going to see Codokay go over to Gracefield once again and activate to try and grab a 5-strengther. And gets Emma, which is very unfortunate for Naomi. Emma is the ideal one to get with Demon List. And then we're going to see a bedtime to immediately put Emma down by 3. 2 bedtimes to get her straight to 0. All right, this is incredibly in... Remember a second ago when I said, like, it's not looking too bad for Naomi? It is now incredibly in Kodokay's favor. If Codokay in, like, the next 2 turns can get Emma to the gate and harvest her, it'll be very, very rough for Naomi. Very rough indeed. We're going to see Naomi go over to District 17 Slums. Gonna play out a Cultist with Lady Miyako, maybe, with the activate. Might do something different. We'll see. So many cards in hand. Really needs to start playing them out so that she can get to the point where an Organ Jar turn can get her a token off. But I'm going to be honest. With Phil and Emma both out, and Emma at 0 especially, and Phil at -1, and no tokens off, like, I mean, I think that Naomi would probably have to have 2 tokens off already to stand a chance here. We are going to see an excruciating power to gain 2 and lose 2, and then activating for a Cultist. Choosing to pull it from the deck instead of the discard. Probably to try and get to Organ Jars faster. And then a Fate. There's Ray, and Mom is an enemy. Honestly, Mom is an enemy on Emma. Probably the best option to try and be able to move her with Prison Break and whatnot again. But it's also hard to turn down playing Ray and, like, hitting a radar, especially when the deck just got reshuffled like this. Hitting Vita, Bell, or radar would all be pretty nice, but also Ray covering Gracefield House doesn't... I think this is the only time that Codokay has moved to Gracefield House in this game thus far, and there's a... That kind of just goes to show that that location being covered doesn't really do a whole lot. We are going to see the Ray play, though. I respect it. I think it's a reasonable decision there. Now it is Codokay's turn. Are we going to see and it's time to go? Indeed we are. Probably just going to yeet Emma way over there. So, radar is gone, so it would take, like, another it's time to go plus harvest to be able to catch. Yeah, there's the prosthesis Onishi. Man, got hit on Kaori and prosthesis with Onishi and Yamagata. That's crazy. We're going to see an Awakening Potential and then a Fate. Mom is an enemy to weaken down Emma. Great timing for that because Emma was almost at the gate. So now Codokay is going to have to stall a little bit to get Emma's strength back down. Way too many cards in play to, like, do an Organ Jar Awakening Potential shenanigans here, I think. I guess there's something insane where Naomi could get a token out, like going to the gain 3 double play with an activate at it. With 2 Organ Jars out, like, maybe? It'd be pretty wild. Codokay can't uncover anyway, not with, like, 0 power and Crone in a bad position. Probably just go to gate and get a lot of power here. Try and build back up power and then probably schedule cards to get the Sarah discount. You risk Insider's Knowledge hitting, but depending on the cards, you probably still do it that way. Maybe you do it a little different depending on what the cards are. Naomi is checking what fates are left. I think both Mamas and enemies are gone. I think Norman and an Insider's Knowledge is here, so probably we're going to see a bell activate, and then is going to schedule its time to go. Naomi can theoretically open this top fate due to Awakening Potential with a Pills activate play, which would be pretty wild. And then we are going to see a Harvest and going to kill Ray. I'd probably kill Gilda here, to be honest. I don't think killing Ray is bad, though. I think opening up the top fate move would be kind of nice, but getting Ray out so he can't move around and like hit Bell or hit Vita or whatnot with a prison break, I think is a good idea. Codokay, if Codokay has pills in hand, can open District Slums. That looks like it's what's going to happen. Has not really made much progress, but has done really good at keeping the territory open and keeping a lot of fate pressure up. But at one point or another, Naomi is going to have to get some tokens out of here. Yeah, and there's Norman Insider's Knowledge. That'll get rid of the It's Time to Go and get Norman to block the gain 1 move at Grassy Field. Bit of a rough position for Codokay. This is where you would want to be seeing true colors, but also Codokay is very power-starved right now. We're going to see a daily report being scheduled here for 2 turns away. There's no point in scheduling it for 1 because Codokay will not have the power to pay for it next turn. Kyoko and Masaru. Yeah, probably just have Masaru cover that top fate. I could see putting Kyoko there. The Kira Reborns, you know, are in the discard, so... In the end, Codokay is going to go with Masaru. I probably would have done Kyoko there, but I don't think it's a big deal either way. Now, what is Naomi going to do here? I don't know what that last fate on Isabella is. It might be Insider's Knowledge? Or it's probably Prison Break. A Prison Break to move Emma to Phil and take the -1 off of Phil wouldn't be too bad, to be honest. And also just put Emma in the gate. Although that'll make her a target for, like, Litany Test and Caring Mother and whatnot, but, you know. Soul has got some decent targets here. A Cultist and an Organ Jar with Soul is pretty strong. We are going to see Connie, and then going to use the Connie move to put Isabella at the gate while covering the gain 2, which takes away all power gain. That is very annoying for Codokay. Naomi, she always manages somehow. She's a wizard at this. We're going to see her throw down another Organ Jar. Still has a ton of cards in hand. The thing is Naomi is, like, keeping up some insane pressure and doing some really good fates, really showing that she has a lot of good game knowledge on, like, how to fate and what to do. However, at the same time, because she's done so much, like, playing this way, which she hasn't really had much choice because of the sheer amount of fate pressure Isabella can put out, that it's led to Naomi having this huge hand that she's just struggling to get down and struggling to keep any power, so she's not really able to get rid of any tokens. This is a very bad position for Codokay. Honestly, I could see going to Small Forest, just losing Crone to get rid of Norman, and then discarding whatever cards in hand aren't that useful. You're going to have to give up on Daily Report. There's no way to gain power to be able to make use of it, it looks like. She is going to go to Small Forest. Oh, okay, this is clever. She's going to move over Sarah so the daily report will be free on her turn. The 2 reports will be free. She'll use 1 report to gain 3. Oh, she doesn't have a play card. Right, she can't do that. But she'll be able to use that daily report to gain 3 and then probably go to Grassy Field. Just to keep in mind, if she uses, and we are going to see a big discard here, just for those of you who don't know, when you daily report, if you daily report to gain this 3 before moving, you cannot then go to the gate and use that gain 3 again, because that gain 3 has already been used. It's no longer an available action. So if she does it this way, more than likely she's using the gate gain 3 with Phil being there. She'll most likely move to Grassy Fields. And we are going to see that Naomi is going to take this opportunity to go to gain a lot of power, move the cultists into herself here, and get the last organ jar out and set up a rebellion. Holy cow. Soul would do so much damage here. So we will see the free daily report, and it will be used for gain 3, which is going to trigger rebellion. And then what is Naomi going to do here? Could force herself into a reshuffle, try and get her Akira Reborns back and whatnot. I know we saw her used at least 1 Unhinged Laughter before. With double cultists stacked up like this, you really want to try and get an Unhinged Laughter token. Huge discard, just giving up on Cowrie and Prosthesis. Doesn't have the power for it right now. And then using the 2 cultists to only have 4 cards in hand. So, at the cost of those cultists, which now means Soul is not nearly as strong a target, has really put Naomi back in the game, so to speak. I'm not sure what Codokay is thinking about here. You can't gain 3 at the gate this turn, so I really don't think there's a better place to go than Grassy Field. If she drew into True Colors, we could see True Colors here. Fate, then Clash with Norman at the end of turn, then hit Gilda. We're going to see a schedule for free time, actually, because it won't do anything until the next turn. And then gets a Hallucinations. Unfortunate pull. That's the second with Fate. Naomi is ordained by both God and anime. How does Naomi get a double Hallucinations whiff in a Tetsuo game? That's insane. I swear. I want to make this very clear. Naomi is a phenomenal player. She is one of the best in the scene, I would say. However, the fact that, like, I've never seen a luckier player at the same time. She is very, very skillful, and she makes good use of everything she does. I've seen her get unlucky and get out of situations for sure, but man, I don't think I've ever seen anyone get as lucky as Naomi as often. It must be all of the Merrick she plays. It simply must be. Nami thinking really hard about what to do. She hasn't moved yet, right? She's probably thinking because she can, if she has a 1-cost card in hand, which she surely does, she can get a token off here, but it would take all 4 organ jars. Honestly, I would probably go to Military Hospital because Codokay is not set up to open this, to open the top fate. I'd probably go to Military Hospital, try and throw another card out, get a fate off, and then go and get rid of a token without having to use all organ jars maybe next turn. Okay. We're going to see a Pills. We're going to see an Excruciating for 0. So still going to be able to keep 1 organ jar here. And of course going to keep the 1 Atmasaru because of Soul. Had Unhinged Laughter and Out of Control. Yeah, really didn't want to keep that hand. Got the first token off, and no kids have been harvested yet, so it's not looking too bad for I didn't realize that was it. Norman, I thought that was the one that hit Gilda and what's-her-face? Emma. We're going to see Codokay go and use Bell to get It's Time to Go to do a double Crone kill. Absolutely cleaning this territory back up. Leaving the It's Time to Go up there just as a reminder. Butter heard me. And then throwing out Caring Mother. Really wants to get Caring Mother, like, just get Emma this last little bit of strength loss before moving her into the gate. Naomi's going to go over to Military Hospital, throw out a Cultist. And pulling Dawn off the top there is pretty good. I do see the temptation of prison breaking Emma into the gate to heal Phil. But honestly, I think keeping that power low right now with Connie blocking the gain too is pretty difficult to pass up on. And then we're back over to Codokay. This is going to be such a long set of 5. Did I mention this is a set of 5? I probably mentioned it in the opening blurb. This is a best of 3, not our usual best of 2. We're going to see a schedule for playing tag, which is the one that will hit Dawn and Emma over here. And then discarding a bunch and going for a fate. Kaisuke is pretty good here. Cover Neo Tokyo, and then I would probably put the motorcycle on Masaru. You don't really want to motorcycle the person at Neo Tokyo because it moves them to the bottom fate. It's better to motorcycle someone at the top fate so that they cover the double play at the gain 3 after they get hit. Back over to Naomi. What does this trigger on? 2 or more other characters, yeah. See Naomi go over to Highway Overpass and move over Lady Miyako. Interesting. What is going on here? Playing another cultist. And then playing Awakening Potential and keeping down to 2 cards. Okay, yeah, and I think this is a guaranteed fate lock. So we are most likely going to see a Military Hospital turn where Naomi can play these 2 cards with the play a card in the Awakening Potential with the gain 1. And then get the second token off. Emma is at 1 strength. Phil is at 2. Naomi really wants to get a Mom as an enemy on Emma soon. We're going to see an It's Time to Go, which will kill Dawn by double moving. Oh, actually going to move Phil over 1 and move Grandmother Sarah back into position. Interesting. And then scheduling Radar to try and play it for 0 for the second time, I think. Getting hit by Norman would be quite unfortunate here. Mom is an enemy, Norman, or Insider's Knowledge would all be pretty good fates in this situation for... Oh, wow, we're going over here, huh? Playing Excruciating for 0, and then playing Shockwave for 1. May as well just hit... Well, you can't hit Masaru with it. You can't target Masaru with effects. So that has to go on Kaisuke. It doesn't matter, really. Yeah, but they realized. And that gets another token off. Gonna let Codokay get the radar. I probably would have done that turn at Military Network. I understand opening the top fate, but... Codokay just needs a little bit of... We're going to see the schedule for playing tag. That'll get Emma to 0. There's Soul, a little too late. Soul would hit Organ Jar and Pills, but honestly, you probably just have K cover District 17. Because if Naomi can take fate pressure off for just a little bit, then she can get these harvests done before Naomi manages to get this last token off. Naomi does not have much setup here other than a single Organ Jar. I don't remember. Are the other Organ Jars in the discard, or are they... I think the Organ Jars are, like, in the discard, so unless Pills happens. Soul on Organ Jar and the Pills here would be a major setback to Naomi getting that token. Kind of hard to pass it up, but also, like, blocking the Fate is pretty vital right now. And in the end, the Fate block is what we're going to see. So we're going to see Naomi go over to Military Hospital and move Lady Miyako, get her power back up real quick. The problem is she is sorely lacking in play cards and needs to get cards out fast. Needs to get a little bit of setup, some cultists, or just clean up her territory a bit even. Ray and Mom is an enemy here. Ray into Radar wouldn't be bad, but honestly, yeah, I would just get Emma back up to 3 strength. Which Emma is going to lose another strength here on playing tag, but she'll still be at 2 and will be at 1. So neither of them will be at 0 just yet. Codokay is going to head over to the gate, get a bunch of power back. She's probably going to Bell playing tag, get Phil to 0, and get Emma to -4. And then just rely on carrying Mother, hopefully, to get Emma to 0. I actually can activate Radar to move Crone, so now she can open her top fate back up. And gonna schedule family dinner, and it's time to go. Oh, family dinner will get Emma down to 0. Gonna see Naomi go over to District Slums and do a telekinesis play. Okay. Who even needs that power? Oh, this is gonna be good because it's gonna activate back out an organ jar, which she sorely needs right now. Oh, occultist, actually. Interesting. Did the organ jars get reshuffled? Maybe they did get reshuffled. Maybe I'm misremembering. I thought that, like, 3 of them were in the discard, but maybe they were also in the reshuffle. My bad. My mistake. They were in the reshuffle because I think that when she did the Rebellion play, she did just enough to not reshuffle, and then she got the organ jar. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the organ jars are in the deck, which is probably why Codokay decided not to do the soul earlier. Gilda to, like, the gate to block the activate, and then move Emma into here, into Grassy Field, so that Emma can't really get hit as hard by family dinner might be a play. Well, no, that doesn't matter because she'll do It's Time to Go first, actually. I don't think Gilda can do anything here because of It's Time to Go. I think It's Time to Go actually stops that. You can move Grandmother Sarah and stop her from playing both Family Dinner and It's Time to Go. She'll have to pick one or the other, I think. Or is that how it works? How does it work with scheduling? Would she get to play It's Time to Go, move Sarah, and then Family Dinner? No, because it's choose any number of them, pay their costs, and play them. So she would not be able to afford both. So I think probably Gilda to... I'd probably cover that activate. I could also see covering the gain 1 discard. You could also put Gilda at the top fate. We're actually just going to see Insider's Knowledge, I think that was. Take away the power and then not put any tokens on so that these cards are just lost. That's also an option. Yeah, that works. Codokay did not get a bunch of, or many, rather, daily reports earlier in the game to build up a stockpile of power, and that's kind of coming back to bite her right now. She's having a hard time affording the cards she needs. Still gets to do It's Time to Go for free, which will kill Dawn and move Crone back into position. I forgot that It's Time to Go would still be 0 cost there. Gonna see a Harvest get scheduled. It'll need to be an even number to work properly, and gonna schedule it for... I think it needs to be an even number, doesn't it? To be on night, because it'll go down to 3 on day, 2 on night, 1 on day, 0 on night. Yeah. Even number is the same time that you schedule it for. Odd number is the opposite. Kenna and Shikishima. Might have wanted to look at multi-fading that one, to be honest, but Shikishima to the top fade is very strong here. Naomi's going to have to do something about that. I would say this is probably still in Codokay's favor. She's been really struggling to get this because Naomi's been doing a phenomenal Tetsuo play. Like, definitely the best Tetsuo player I've seen. But at the same time, the blitzing way that Naomi has had to play with taking out heroes and all and doing stuff like telekinesis to keep up the fate pressure to stop Isabella's progress is overseeing appeals for excruciating to gain power and draw, has led her to this situation where she has got a lot of heroes out, taking up a lot of her action economy, and stopping her from setting up the get rid of token turns. Of course, if she just draws into some organ jars, she can force her way past that. But that would require drawing into organ jars. And if Codokay top decks like Motorcycle on Shikishima or Canada, it's going to put Naomi in a very, very rough situation. Another excruciating, this one only for 1 and 1 card draw. And then getting a Shockwave out on Shikishima to make sure that he's clashable. Back at the ranch with Codokay. Codokay's going to gain 1 and then schedule a Litany test for 2 turns from now. Discard a bunch of cards. And then, yeah, Canada here is rough. Canada here is very rough. It's probably the worst possible fate that could have happened for Naomi. Very, very difficult. And if Naomi goes anywhere other than District 17 slums, carrying Mother triggers and gets Phil to 0 probably. Could also hit Emma down to -4, but probably get Phil to 0 so you can finally get him in that pile. Stop this darn fire that's been burning since the world's been turning. This was a turn 1 fate, wasn't it? Turn 1 fate. That fire's been here all along, and it's done barely anything. It may have informed Naomi's decision slightly on the last turn when she pulled that Gilda Insider's Knowledge fate. But even then, I don't think it heavily changed how that play would have gone. So Phil is going to get to 0 here, and then a double prison break, so could move Connie. You probably just move Emma. You can't move Phil, unfortunately. Moving Emma to the gate is a little frustrating, especially with carrying Mother gone. But it's not great. Oh, here come my dogs again. They're just being very active this evening for some reason. Naomi is putting a lot of thought into this, but she really needs to pick up the pace. Gonna prison break Connie and move Codokay to the gate. Very interesting. Throwing out some pills and then punching Kaisuke, even with Canada. He's an easy kill here. Litany test next turn and then harvest the turn after. Probably not going to be able to afford Litany test, though, unless you go to Gracefield House. Could make it happen, then. Honestly, I could see Codokay just setting up for Litany test here to make sure that Litany test gets Emma to 0. Codokay is checking to see if she's getting faded next turn, if there's some crazy play that could happen here. Without an ally here, I don't think it's possible. No awakening potential, no ally. I don't think that that's getting uncovered. Naomi has done very, very good at fighting back in what I personally consider to be a pretty losing matchup. Oh, a daily report there is... That gives Codokay a ton of room to work with. And now if she just schedules a card, I believe Litany test. Yeah, it will be on day. Yeah, just scheduling family dinner here will get Emma to 0. And then you have at least one harvest triggering the turn after, and you have Vita out. We might be seeing game here. Gonna go ahead and move Phil into the gates. I think a fate is very unlikely, if not impossible. Shikishima is also at 4 strength, I just realized, because Canada is out. And there's no telekinesis. It's in the discard, I believe. So it's not going to be like game next turn, but it is going to set game. Because it'll be daytime, so it won't be possible for Codokay to get the harvests. You're going to see an activate on pills to give Canada the -1 here. Unfortunate that she didn't have a debris or something in hand to use that to get the kill and then use the pills activate for something else. Gets another organ jar out, though, which is really good. The game isn't... I guess it's not over yet. Obviously it's not, but... Man, this Litany test and then a scheduled harvest. I mean, Norman... I don't know where Norman is. Norman could get rid of the harvest here, which would be a big boon for Naomi. But I don't know where the other harvest is, and also there's a Vita, so, in play. We're going to see an It's Time to Go to get Emma at the gate, and then probably move Crone to small force to be able to move her into Connie later, which is really funny. Going to move her to Gracefield instead, that's fair. And then spending 3. Oh, yeah, that's right, Vita doesn't need it to be night. Ah, the fire is finally gone. Long have we waited for this day. Long have we waited. Well, this is game on board because Phil will be harvested, and then you just move to small forest and move Crone into Connie. So, Naomi has to fate. Naomi did really well to make this game go as... Oh, Codokay's turn isn't over yet. Naomi did really well to make this game go as long as she did. I think it might be game anyway, because if you get, like, Norman and get rid of Harvest, then she goes here, bells Harvest, and then plays Harvest. It's just that Connie won't die until the next turn. There is Norman. Honestly, Mom as an enemy is probably your safer bet, but then Connie dies to the Harvest. It's not over. Naomi is checking to see what cards Codokay has to deal with Phil not being at 0. I know Family Dinner is here. Would Family Dinner only give him 1 -1? I think it would, just the -1 for himself. And then we see the Akira Reborn to kill Shikishima and open back up that fate. So what have we got? Oh my goodness, both Harvests. That gets Phil down by 1, and then a Harvest kills Connie. And then the other Harvest does nothing. Gonna go gain 1. And then what are we gonna do? And it's time to go to move Phil somewhere better. We're gonna throw out Caring Mother. Yeah, makes sense. If you pull a hero and put it at District Slums here, then that means Naomi either goes to Neo Tokyo or gives the Caring Mother -1 on Phil. This is very funny. I would play Yamagata to Slums and not use his ability. He's a Mei, isn't he? Yeah. I would put Yamagata there and not put the Cultist in hand. Put the Cultist in hand anyway. I would have left it there to trigger Caring Mother. It would have been very funny. Holy cow, this game is coming down to the wire time-wise. Well, as long as Naomi doesn't go to Highway Overpass, she doesn't trigger Caring Mother. Naomi is going to go to District 17 Slums and just throw out a Cultist and then punch Yamagata. It is very possible that Naomi could get rid of her last token on her turn, but that's not gonna... It's not really gonna do all that much for her. She does not have time to play out of control before Isabella. She doesn't really have time to go to Neo Tokyo Stadium. If she lets up the fate pressure for even a second, Codokay will almost certainly cinch this game. Oh, and Anishi is very unfortunate. Probably just going to go back out here and play back out that Organ Jar. Gonna see a fate. Insider's Knowledge that does nothing. Gets Gilda, which can move Phil around, move him back into the gate. That means you can't put Gilda at the top fate. Gonna play Gilda to the gate. And then move Phil to her location. Deciding to move the Cultist or not with the move action. Gonna move Miyako over to Neo Tokyo. Interesting. I think what Naomi really needs to do is throw out that Organ Jar, and then what she's really hoping is that this fate isn't too debilitating. She can go to Neo Tokyo, get rid of her token, and just hope that Naomi doesn't win in that time. Gonna see Naomi schedule something for 3 turns in the future, which is going to be a daytime schedule, and then a fate. SOL on Miyako and Organ Jar sucks. Gets rid of both of those. And gives a lot more power to Codokay, which gives her more to work with. What are we going to see here from Naomi? Does she have some kind of crazy trick she can do at Neo Tokyo, maybe? She can't really afford to go to Highway Overpass because that'll put Phil at 0. And you don't want that. Ooh, going to highway overpass. Oh. Awakening potential and then not drawing. Okay, so this sets up and then kills Masaru. This must set up getting the token. Putting Phil at 0 while at the gate is very scary, though. Codokay is going to go to the small forest. Kind of surprised that Codokay isn't going to activate Bell to, like, get back Harvest or Vita here. But wants to keep up the fate pressure on Naomi, not just giving her, like, no opportunity here. Probably Kyoko to Neo Tokyo. I could also see Kyoko to Military Hospital, but... Nah, it's Neo Tokyo. Motorcycle on a Nishi isn't, like, the worst thing ever, but I don't think that's very good either, because Out of Control is actually coming up. Assuming Naomi doesn't have it in hand or doesn't draw into it too soon. Kyoko making effects cost 1 more power might ruin Naomi's ability to get this token here. Codokay is thinking very hard about this. She has a time advantage, so she can afford to. It is going to be Military Hospital. And then just goodbye to the whole hand. Well, if Codokay drew into Harvest there, it might essentially be game. Honestly, if Naomi can get the token at Military Hospital, which I don't think she can, awesome. Well, she can if she just plays a Organ Jar and then activates them with Awakening Potential. But if she has to go, if she can't get it at Military, she has to go to Neo Tokyo to get it because she needs to get the token this turn. She's not going to get another decent opportunity. We are going to see a ton of card plays, and that'll get the last token out of there. And then uses the pills to play Occultist. Does Codokay have game? Or at least have the Harvest? It is crazy how close this game is coming down. This Tetsuo play from Naomi has been wild. Litany test just to get the minuses on Gilda. But that means she's not harvesting Phil. There is a way where if she has Vita, she can do it on her turn. Go to the gate, play It's Time to Go, kill Gilda with Crone, play Vita, activate Vita. I think you'd have just enough power with this setup. And then play and activate Vita to get Phil in the deck or in the Harvest pile. Codokay is going to do a full fate here. Get Canada and Takashi, probably just throw down Canada. Takashi actually can help Naomi draw what she needs. So I don't know what these face downs are, but definitely this seems like a time to fate. Is choosing to play a card, playing Rebellion to try and get into that whatchamacallit faster. Mom is an enemy at the perfect time to free up Phil. Ooh, maybe playing... No, I think at this point you have to do Mom as an enemy. You don't need to stop fate pressure. You need to buy time to play the card. To play Out of Control. I think that's the only way Naomi can win here. And again, I am amazed at how close Naomi's made this game, but I still feel like it is very likely gonna be Codokay walking away with the dub here. Naomi can't even play Out of Control in her turn outside of like a game 2 play Excruciating. Even that won't work because of Kyoko, I don't think. We're gonna see playing tag and It's Time to Go here. Using It's Time to Go to just get rid of Gilda. Did end up doing the Mom as an enemy, which I think is the right play. Gonna move Phil instead to weaken him back up. That would make sense. Does have free time in hand. Very unlucky for Naomi. Very good for Codokay. And then another big discard just needs to draw a harvest, because it is night next turn. Wow, double hallucin. That is 3 double hallucination pulls. What, Naomi? Naomi. What have you done to the programming of this game? Playing Prosthesis to get K out and do more drawing because still doesn't have out of control, presumably. Codokay does not have harvest. I don't think she had radar out until just... No, she did have radar. If she had harvest, then she could have gone here, gained 2, done the move, activate, and then harvested. We're going to see Masaru just to cover Neo Tokyo. This is definitely a turn to go to military hospital, so... If, yeah, Gilda and then move Crone further away, it's not bad. It's not the best fate ever right now, but not bad. Not Codokay. I'm pretty sure that Out of Control is not in the discard pile. I think it was in the deck. So Naomi either has it in hand or will have it in hand by activating Prosthesis on this next turn. Was Kyoko at -1? If Kyoko wasn't at -1, she couldn't die there because of Canada. Oh no, Prosthesis put Tetsuo at 4th. That totally could have killed her. Yeah. And that's how, with Canada out, that Kai died a minute ago. Kai was at 5, actually, but because there was a debris there, it got the kill. So we're going to see him moved into position, and then this is going to be the out of control play. But is Naomi going to be able to get the kill? Oh, is this harvest? Is it over? It's over. Incredible that Naomi got it as close as she did. Like, actually insane. The 3 hallucination-only fates definitely helped. But crazy that Naomi got it that close in the first place. How does Naomi do it, man? Some kind of eldritch magic. So that will be game 1 going to Codokay. My goodness, that was almost an hour long, and we have potentially 4 more games. Please tell me they're not all going to take that long. Fingers crossed. Alright, what have we got here? Naomi is the starting player again because she lost that game. So she will ban first again. Please don't let Codokay play Isabella in every single game. I beg of you. I don't know if I can handle commentating 3+ Isabella games. Okay, thank you. Isabella will be banned. So we will probably see Orochi from Codokay here. I've recently come to the decision, we're going to see a Merrick ban. I've recently come to the opinion that, I think I mentioned this in another video, that, is this Orochi? It is indeed Orochimaru. I've recently come to the opinion that Orochi's, like, maybe the only 2... Orochimaru is one of the most neutral matchup characters in the game. Him and Loxus and Isabella, I would say, are the characters who care the least about who their matchup is. They play pretty well into basically everyone. So, but I've recently come into the opinion that if there are 2 characters who are potentially counters to Orochimaru, I think it's Loxus and Yaldabaoth. I think that Loxus and Yaldabaoth are both, they both play pretty well into Orochimaru because Loxus is good at early fate pressure, which Orochi hates, and he's also pretty decent at, mid to late game fate pressure if he really wants to be. If he really wants to use stone gazes and all to blow up the, blow stuff up from his top fate. Meanwhile, Yaldabaoth is not that great at fading early, which gives Orochimaru a lot of wiggle room, but Yaldabaoth is really good if he needs to be at putting heavy fate pressure in the mid to late game, when he's got a catchy out and he's just, oh my goodness, we're going to see Aizen versus Orochi. Well, let's see how this goes. I do not think that Aizen has a good matchup here because he has a very hard time getting his top fate back ever, which means that Orochi Orochi doesn't really care about semi-consistent fate pressure because, like, this means Aizen will probably be going to Soul Society like every other turn and getting a fate like every other turn, which is good against some characters who you just need to be hitting them here and there over time. But for a character like Orochi who can really burst progress, just being hit with a fate every other turn is much preferable for him than getting, like, hit by 2 fates back-to-back, which is where he really struggles, especially when Sasuke is out. Basically, characters that are super fate-locked like Aizen give Orochimaru 2 turns to fix a problem, like when a Gaara is played or a recovery mission happens, and having Orochimaru with 2 turns to fix a problem can fix basically any problem ever. Orochimaru, who only has 1 turn to fix a problem, struggles with it a lot. Maybe not a lot, but he struggles with it a good bit. So we're going to see an immediate air gate and a fake death and then discarding a Shunpo, so this is a good first turn for Naomi, all things considered. We're going to see Codokay go straight over to Forest of Death. She did mulligan her hand earlier, and it looks like she's discarding even more because she did not luck into a better hand. And she go on the first fate. Ichigo, however you say his name, I don't care. Listen, if you're going in the comments right now to type, like, Chaos, you say the Bleach name's weird, take it up with Kubo. I simply do not care. I'm not a Bleach guy. I watched up through Soul Society, thought it was pretty neat. I don't really remember how they said all the names. I don't care how they said all the names. I started reading the manga, and then I would just pronounce them however I thought in my head. And then I stopped reading the manga. Tsunade here is pretty great. Gonna throw her at Tenzaku to take away those big card play turns. I think that's the right thing to do this early. Plus fading, like fate spamming Aizen early doesn't do a whole lot to Aizen, to be honest, so Codokay doesn't really mind if Codokay wants to bounce between fate locations. It only really matters to Naomi if Codokay hits Rukia. There's the Vizard, so that'll be sitting out for ever. For quite a while. I would not be surprised if that Vizard never leaves the field. I would not be surprised at all if the rest of this game plays out and then Codokay ends up winning before Naomi can get rid of the Vizard. It would be very funny. Again, I don't know Bleach that well, but imagine Aizen, like, shows up to get into his... to start fighting or whatever, and then the Vizard are just there from start to finish forever. Oh my goodness! Alright, didn't get Rukia. Getting Rukia there would have been incredible. It would have been very funny, even. But getting 4 power complete hypnosis there is pretty insane. Also, we see 5th Division be discarded, so either Naomi has the other copy in hand or is not a 5th Division gamer. And we are going to see where Codokay is just going and getting more fate pressure. Uryu is pretty great here to take away a half of that insane hypnosis play. Oh my goodness, I have to respond to something. We're going to see Toshiro thrown onto Soul Society. I have to... It's a message from my good friend Swallet, one of the other leads of Anime Villainous. Oh, Gaara is great here. It really sucks to miss out on Jiraiya. But I would slap Gaara down at Oto and yeet Kabuto to Konoha. It is very, very difficult to pass up on Jiraiya, but I actually think that Gaara is more damaging at the moment, to be completely real with you. But I don't begrudge the Jiraiya play in the slightest. Honestly, if I were Codokay, I would be taking a turn to go to Konoha and move Kabuto into Jiraiya right here. And then if you have cards you can play, great. If you don't, oh well. I would just get Jiraiya out of there before another fate happens. Jiraiya might have even been the correct play. It's, oh, there's a Higoku experiment. Wants to at least get back that complete hypnosis. Also, shuffling back in one of the effects. That makes a lot of sense. I have to respond to Swallet. because it's about Annaville stuff for Bloodbath and all. It's very important. We are going to see the move that I said would happen, where there's the move and the kill on that, which triggers, that triggered Betrayal and the other thing I'm thinking of, a Fake Death. Fake Death and Betrayal both. We're going to see a Central 46 and then shuffling back into Bonkai. Kai. Sorry, I had to respond to Swallow before he went to sleep. Because he is French. Didn't get Ruki again here. We're going to see Byakuya. This is going to trigger word Central 46. Byakuya is going to go cover Karakura Town. And move Gin into Ishigo. Which I think is the right play to go. Could see Gin just nuked into Byakuya here, because now you can't go clash Toshiro. Do we see a double discard there? I should have paid closer attention to that. Or is Rukia set up? Getting Rukia here would be very, very good. Lee on the top fate is pretty great here. If Naomi can get Rukia in the next turn or two, it'll put her in a really strong position. But she has to hit Rukia in the next turn or two, because these early strong fates of getting the 4-strengthers and all on, and also I think Codokay had some bad hands, has given her some early tempo against Orochimaru. But that tempo is going to very quickly start to go away here, as Jiraiya's gone, Gaara's gone, Tsunade's about to be gone, potentially. So once that happens, Codokay will get a little bit of breathing room as some of the weaker fates come up, like Shuriken recovery missions that don't have any targets. Honestly, with how our deck order is gone, Decomposing, and we are going to see the complete Hypnosis. Ooh. Oh, Ruki is the bottom card, lost the 50-50. But Lee should be a Fate Lock here outside of a really weird Manda play, so if Naomi has another complete Hypnosis, she can get out of this. Gonna see a Sealed Coffin. Into a Sword. Can't do Sword because she wants to Killing Intent. Oh, no, is gonna be the Sword. And then is gonna get Manda out to be able to kill Tsunade in the next turn or two. Probably just next turn. We do see Higokyu trigger here. Not putting... Okay, is putting back in complete Hypnosises. Oh, do these go straight to... Oh, no, I was about to say these don't go straight to hand. There's no way this card is that good. For Naomi's sake, I really hope she has a, whatchamacallit in hand. A complete Hypnosis. The fact that she isn't immediately going to her Game 3 play means that she probably doesn't. Which is very unfortunate. That might... that 50-50 might legitimately decide this game. Yep, Central 46. That sucks. Not getting that 50-50 on Rukia, I honestly would have put the odds maybe even in Naomi's favor for this game, but missing Rukia here is a huge blow. Just a huge blow. So that gets Rukia in the discard, and it's Urahara, which gets... Wow, and Urahara getting rid of the Central 46. That hurts. That hurts. This is the 50-50 heard around the world. Losing that 50-50 on Rukia and Mayuri there. Just, like, the tempo for this game was decided entirely by that, which is insane. I keep responding to Swallet. He's like, wait, are you live? Oh, no. And I'm like, no, I'm recording. There's no way you would have known. I'm sorry. We're going to see Codokay just take a turn to go gain power and do some discarding here. Whole hands. Whole hands. I saw Rashomon reincarnate. Kind of surprised at just yeeting the reincar there with Kabuto and Manda both in the discard. But also I assume she has Kimi and all of her other allies coming up, so she probably just really wants to get to them. Chat, I want you all to know that Swallet did a little cat wave emote to me in Discord. I assume he's waving to all of you. Hotto number 90. Why do you have 10 power? Oh, right. You got all of those big complete Hypnosis turns. Killing intent kill here. Throwing out Kimi. Throwing out Sakon and Ukon. Really, not a killing intent kill here. Must not have had it. Unfortunate. But now Codokay is starting to get a lot of control back on all this. Having Kimi out and Sakon and Ukon is a huge boon. Already has the sealed coffin, just really missing 4 Violet to have the maximum territory control going on here. Naruto to Odo is actually pretty nice. But honestly, now that I think about it, shurikening Kimi is also very nice. Straight up, I see a Sakon Ukon swap and then just lose Sakon and Ukon to Kakashi to get Tanzaku open so you can take a Tanzaku turn to presumably play, like, Jirobo and whatever other allies you have. What? Niami! How does Niami do this? This is insane. I'm telling you, I have never seen a luckier player in my life. And again, Niami is incredibly skilled. She is not where she is because of luck. She is good at the game. Incredibly so. But my goodness, is she also the luckiest player I've ever seen. Just some insane stuff. You love to see it, though. It's fun to see. 16 power. Just do it. Just get Rukia. Just get Rukia right here. I think it's I think all but one of these is a... Oh my goodness. 17 power. Honestly, I would just go ahead and invasion. I would just invasion so I know what I'm dealing with next turn. Well, you gotta take the chance of getting to use the top fate, I guess. Codokay is gonna let Niami have the top fate turn? That's insane! Putting a curse seal on Kimi to get him back up, and then curse sealing Lee to get him down. And a kunai on Kakashi. So now Kimi is at is back at 3. Yeah, with a -1 and then the kunai. So that's back at 3. So strong enough to kill Kakashi, and then Lee could be clashed. We might even see the sword trade for the clash here. I wouldn't hate it. Also gets 1 back from the sealed coffin. We are going to see the sword kill on Lee. I don't dislike that at all. This is your weekly reminder to respect Sword of Kusanagi. It's one of the most important cards in Orochi's toolkit. 17 power is insane, by the way. The only thing that's really going to be holding Niami back here is Niami's lack of play cards. Honestly, I was about to say Sarutobi on Odo goes kind of crazy here. Dead Demon wouldn't have been the worst either to mess with Kimi, but Codokay likely would have just taken the one extra turn with Dead Demon out to get the kill with Kimi, but keeping Kimi. Kimi is going to get to be repositioned, but it'll be 2 strength short. Going to need a Kitamaro or something in there. Well, actually, no, going to be 1 strength short because the Poison Kunai is going to hit Sarutobi, but that'll still be 4-3, so it's not too bad for Codokay. We're going to see a Betrayal thrown out. Shuffle back in a Bankai. And then you've got to invade here. Yeah, invade so you can start killing people. 17 power. I think Hado 90 and like maybe both Shimpo's already in the discard, which is unfortunate. But 17 power means that Niami can play a lot of allies without needing air gates, and still use air gates to keep that power amount really high. Their Aizen can do a lot. The Vizard still has to be gotten rid of, but honestly, I could see a world where you ditch that fake death and pay 4 for the Vizard just to get it back in the shuffle. Either so you can hit it with a complete hypnosis later, or because honestly, like a Vizard play, if you're still at like 7+ power, doesn't do much. Sasuke is not out yet, and there's got to be another... Kabuto and Manda are both in the discard, so there's got to be like 2 allies played for, or some strength boosts with like Poison Kunai and all to be able to get Sasuke out. It is not a great spot for Codokay. However, what's really going to decide this game is how Naomi's next, like, 3, maybe 4 turns go. If Naomi can make use of this sheer amount of power and start blasting through some of these allies, or some of these heroes, I mean, then we could see, how many cards are here before the reshuffle? Okay, so only 1 fate before the reshuffle becomes a thing. 3 and 4. You always pick the one with more heroes in it, IMO. There goes Orihime, Shigo, and Mayuri, which means Kenpachi is getting played here. I think Uryu as well, which means denting that power a little bit. Renji and Rukia are pretty whatever. Uryu and Kenpachi are good hits here. I think I prefer having this pile to having the Mayuri Ishigo pile, personally. Just hard covering that top fate. I wouldn't put Kenpachi there. I wouldn't put Kenpachi into the easy Hagokyu fusion. Which, by the way, we could see Hagokyu fusion go kind of crazy. Right, and then does get to do a fate here for like a Bankai or a, whatever it's called. We're going to see both of these trigger. That is how Kimi works, right? Kimi's discarded. Yeah, he's still discarded, yeah. Losing a Curse Seal in that. I think all of the Curse Seals are in the discard now, which means won't have an immediate Curse Seal for Sasuke. Fake Death is very important here. Yeah, you don't need complete hypnosis anymore. These are all 3 strength they're sitting here, too. And just getting rid of a Hollow King. And then you probably... Man, you probably betray Urahara. Betraying Kenpachi so you don't have to do the Hagokyu fusion kill. I don't hate it. He might get hit with a Bankai, so that's fair. I'd probably weaken Urahara so that I could clash with him and Toshiro with that betrayal, to be honest. Because you're going to be going to your bottom fate every other turn, surely. It was a double Bankai. Bon! Kai. You're going to see Toshiro moved. Okay, so... I don't know that I agree with this strategy. Codokay is going all in on covering the top fate to make sure that Naomi never gets it and starts to get pressure back. But this means it's going to be very easy. The thing is that, especially with this much power, if Aizen can open up like his double play or his Karakura Town, he can do a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, you just play Sakura here. Honestly, I'd play Sakura to Tanzaku. Take away the gain 3. Codokay will be able to gain 3 and then clash, but just gaining 3 and discarding will be a pretty lame turn. Also, the odds are incredibly high that Jirobo is in that hand. I don't think we've seen Jirobo yet. If you play it to Forest of Death and then Jirobo gets played and moved into Tanzaku, then that's serious egg all over your face. I would just cover Tanzaku and take this fate to make the Tanzaku turn really bad. Because that's what Codokay will have to do. Go gain 3, do nothing, discard, and then Codokay will go and have a pretty good Forest of Death turn next turn. But Codokay will have to go to Tanzaku first. Making sure you don't get fated is also fine. This does stop Codokay from going to Forest of Death to do a fate. I think I like the Tanzaku play better overall, but the thing is that Sakura is not a great fate either way. So, what are you going to do? We are going to see Hagokyu Fusion, and because of Tosin, this will kill Urahara. Okay, if you're playing Hagokyu Fusion, I take everything back. Actually doing that is genius. And then using the sword for a setup here as well, putting those on the bottom. Because now, with this power, there's no Manda, there's no way to get this uncover, so you're getting at least 2 Hagokyu Fusion kills. This is what people don't understand about Hagokyu Fusion, is if you just time playing it well to guarantee you 2 kills, Aizen paying 3 power for 2 kills during invasion is so worth it. It's better than 1 kill for 4 for Hado. It's better than 1 kill for 2 with Shunpo in most cases to get 2 for 3. Because to get more kills with Shunpo would require 2 Shunpo plays. That's 2 plays and 1 more power. Killing intent on Sakura, just get the power. I'm surprised you're not getting... What's his face low here to die with that killing intent. You'd have to kill Sakura first either way. Didn't have Jirobo, which is very unfortunate for Codokay. It has not been a great Orochi shuffle for her. Probably going to Lost Nokes here to punch Renji. I think Renji is the best one to hit here. Oh, gonna Shunpo to get Toshiro and then kill Renji. Yeah. Ooh. The good news for Codokay is that Codokay gets to hit a hero at Las Noches here, using the Kitamaru to get the Sarutobi kill. I don't know about that. I'd probably leave Kimi here because you have the... If Sakon and Ukon are here, Kimimaro is technically at both of these locations. More or less. So I would leave Kimi at Odagakure. Sometimes Odagakure is more important to guard than Forest of Death. Don't love that. But it's not bad. So you can Bankai someone in, but that's going to uncover Byakuya. You have to Bankai Kenpachi or Byakuya, which will uncover to get rid of Hagokyu Fusion. But you kind of have to. You can't let Naomi go clash Byakuya, play an ally to the air gate, and do a Gin kill on, like, Uryu. You just can't. Or it wouldn't be Uryu. You'd kill Rukia in that position. Nami is checking to figure out what those 4 cards are in that hand. Probably deciding if she really needs to fate this turn or not. Because I think this is decomposing. So if this is a well-timed decomposing, I think Tayuya and Jirobo are both in this hand. So honestly, I would probably go for the decompose here. It'll make it where her turn becomes Tanzaku, play Jirobo, move Sakura in. But you can also full fate and see if you get something better. You can also do an ally play into move, or move the air gate. Moving the air gate is also nice. Berrigan, where all of that is stacked up, is great. This is still at 9 power. The Vizard is still something that will have to be dealt with. I think this is Decompose, unless I missed Decompose earlier. But I would still full fate here. Oh, it's Recovery Mission, actually. I miscounted. My bad. I didn't see the, whatchamacallit. There's no point in doing a minus on Kimimaro here, because he can still kill Sakura and then replay himself. You probably just Recovery Mission Sakura to, like, Tanzaku. This is not a good fate. Not a good fate. There's also, like, a world where you Recovery Mission Sakura to Konoha just so she's there. -2 on Sakon and Ukon is fair. I don't hate that. You can't put it on Kimi, because Kimi will replay on the Sakura kill. But now Sakon and Ukon are kind of inert for anything other than their ability, which isn't bad for Codokay, but you'd rather them have 3 in case you need them in emergency. We're going to see Tayuya and Jirobo here, most likely. Got to play a different hand sign before Jirobo. Oh, 4 Violet. I didn't realize 4 Violet wasn't out yet. 4 Violet and Jirobo both at the bottom is pretty rough, and Kimi was pretty late. No, don't put Jirobo there. Get rid of Sakura. I know that it leaves Odo uncovered, but that's why you should have left Kimi at Odagakure. Gonna do the move to put Sealed Coffin in position. That's fair. I still would have done the easy Sakura kill, because, like, with Aizen in this position, you want your fate pressure back, like, quick. I imagine we'll probably see, like, you can see a Las Noches play an ally, kill Kenpachi, or, like, do you have 2 ally, or even 3 allies with the air gate worth playing that you want to go to the double play and take advantage of the double play? With all of these allies here, you really want to get a lot of cards here fast, or all these heroes, you want to get allies here fast to try and Shunpo them. Ooh, that's really good. Get Rukia down to 2. You want to save Uryu for last because you don't want him coming back around. Oh, get him put it on Uryu, actually. Well, Rukia is at 2 anyway, yeah. So if you're leaving Uryu, it's better to get the minus on him. Is going to choose to clash Kenpachi here. Only 3 heroes, and that Vizard basically doesn't exist. We're seeing the kill on Sakura with Kimi. And then activate for Sasuke. 3, 6, 8. I don't think that she has enough. 6, 7, 9. That's not enough. You can't play Sasuke there. Yeah, those that Shuriken actually came in clutch to slow down Codokay here. When Orochimaru games go wrong, they go wrong. Codokay is really rethinking what she wants to do now with this information. Just doing a different discard to keep that, whatchamacallit, maybe? Wait, how is Sakura dead if you didn't discard for Kimi? Am I missing something? Oh, activated for Violet to make her 0? I guess. Interesting. We do see Urahara here. Doesn't have a target to hit, but that puts him at a Soul Society. Gonna be pretty easy to get a 3-strength ally in there to kill him, though. Also, Byakuya is not long for this world, in case anyone was curious, because Gin can just blow up Byakuya whenever he wants and open up Karakura Town for that Gain 2 play. Naomi really needs to get, like, some Shumpos or whatnot going. Oh, there's a Shumpo right there. Gonna use it. Very interesting to use it to kill Urahara there instead of trying to clear out more space. Moving the air gate to Karakura, yeah. Well, no, killing Urahara there is probably for the best, yeah. Aizen was at 5 there, by the way, because of Kyoka, Zamari, and Airgate all being in the same location, so that's +3 to his 2 on that Shumpo. Kyoka Shigetsu with a Shumpo is pretty great. And then we're going to see Lee at Forest of Death. That's a pretty great pull for Naomi. Going to do a Curse Seal to get rid of Lee here and also set up being able to play Sasuke. If Naomi goes to Karakura or Las Noches and gets a kill or two, then she kind of threatens game. Even just killing one hero would really threaten game here because of Neutra. Or we're doing a substitution and then a Forbidden Experiments to go ahead and get Sasuke out without having to go to Odo first. Okay, yeah. This is very much in Naomi's favor. I'm very impressed by this Aizen game. This is what happened, especially after that 50-50 went poorly. But when you just, you know, get +4 power from, like, 3 different, whatever it is I'm thinking of, from, like, 3 different, complete hypnosises, and then top deck Rukia on the reshuffle like a boss, I guess you can do whatever you want. Free Grimjaw play just to cover Airgate, defend it. A Shumpo or a Neutra means that game is on board. I think both Shumpos might be in the discard. Putting Tyr here is very interesting to me. But this could very much be game on board, so Codokay has to fate. Codokay has to fate basically every turn. No, you full fate because Kyoka Suigetsu was used to set cards on the bottom earlier. Oh, this is... spooky. Gonna be a Bankai on Rukia. This is very spooky for Codokay. Also a -1 on Sasuke because of the 4 Violet. Codokay does have an open fate, though, so if Naomi wants to try and set up game somehow, she has to go to Soul Society and then cover Forest of Death. Gonna go to Las Noches. Do you have another Shumpo or a Hado to open this? Or a Neutra? Hollow King. That works. Does not have another play a card to play someone into killing Rukia, unfortunately. If Gin was still in play, it was game. Gin and not at Rukia's location. A Gaara here would be devastating. We're going to see a body swap to swap. Okay, so now no matter what, Codokay will get to fade again. I didn't realize the sub was going to be in play. Recovery mission decomposing. So yeah, you just recovery to force Codokay to do an activate. Recovery Sasuke onto Odo. So now Codokay has to either go to Konoha or do a play card like Tanzaku to fix this. Could wait to try and fix it with a Forbidden while at Force to keep Fate pressure, but this will definitely slow down Codokay's progress significantly. The problem is that I think that this is Ishigo or Ichigo, whatever his name is, and then something else. I don't know what the other card is. I don't know if Codokay knows. It's going to be a full fate either way. One of them is Ichigo. I think the other one is Kenpachi, but I could be wrong. Oh, it's Mayuri, right. So you're going to see a multi-fate for Mayuri here. Hitting Tyr and Grimjow here isn't too bad with it, but you probably want to cover Las Noches. You don't really want to put Mayuri into being killed by Tyr or Grimjow. Back over to Naomi's turn. This is where it gets really difficult as Aizen figuring out where to get this last KO at. A Hagoku Fusion would be insane here, though. I think Hagoku Fusion cover top fate is game, actually. Sarutobi at Forest of Death. Manda would be the only way out. If you have a Goku Fusion, you put Sarutobi on Forest of Death and you hope. Kakashi won't lower enough power to make Manda. Well, I guess you should do Kakashi anyway, just because he's as likely to die to Manda as Sarutobi is. Just take away that power. Yeah, Hagoku Fusion? Are we going to see Hagoku Fusion here? Hagoku Fusion will kill Mayuri, and then next turn you'll be able to... Yeah, well, it's uncover or die, Codokay. Because next turn, Naomi can go here, gain 3, pay for Vizard, and is actually going to do this as well if to put Ishigo back on the bottom. Ichigo, whatever his name is. And he did go right back to the bottom. If you don't have Manda, it's game. I don't think there's any way to open it without Manda, other than some crazy to Yuya, like, double forbidden killing intent play or something stupid like that. You'd, like, forbidden, do Sakan Ukon to Yuya, swap their positions, do a killing intent to weaken Kakashi to 2, do a forbidden experiment to activate to Yuya, not go into a fate location. That's game. Next turn, Naomi will go here, gain 3, spin 6 of her 7 power to get rid of Vizard, and then punch Rukia with the form. Getting Sasuke back in position. Or something. I don't know what's happening. I wasn't paying attention. It doesn't matter. I would like everyone who has ever said that Hagoku Fusion isn't that good or is too hard to use to apologize to me. The Noitra kill, the disrespect. Hagoku Fusion. There is a reason that this card, like, is discarded by hero play and move, and a reason it costs 3. This card is insane. If this card was any better, it would maybe make Aizen unstoppable, unless he just never pulls Rukia. It is such an insanely good card. Great Aizen game by Naomi. Just incredible Aizen game. Really good stuff. Codokay did as best she could with the Orochi setup and all, but unfortunately, a little bit of bad draw in the early game. A very late Kimimaro and 4 Violet put her seriously on the back foot. And early on the Sannin as well with pulling Tsunade and Jiraiya. So, great game overall, but yeah. I can't believe that Naomi lost that 50-50 on Mayuri and Rukia and then still won this game. That is insane. Aizen is such, like, he's one of our slot machine characters, him and Merrick both. If they just get lucky enough. I can't believe Naomi got, like, 12 power from complete hypnosis. That was madness, dude. What a crazy game. What a crazy but very fun game. What a time. What a time. So now Codokay gets to be the starting player for the first time. Both players are up 1 game, so we have at least 2 more games to go because it's best of 3. First one to get to 3. And who are we going to see banned here? Merrick? You got to let Naomi play Merrick once. Oh, banning Griffith. Please. Please, Naomi. I know you're going to get counterpicked, and it's probably going to make you lose unless you get really lucky, but you are ordained by the power of both God and anime. So, like, if anyone is going to pull out a counterpicked going second Merrick win, it would be Naomi. We have not gotten to see... Also, this isn't the last match of the game, which means I can use it in the thumbnail. Gonna ban Orochi because Merrick plays awful into Orochi. Oh, I get to do... I think this is the first Merrick thumbnail of the tournament. Naomi, yes! Yes, Naomi! Yes! Oh, Isabella. Isabella does well into most matchups. She definitely does well into the Merrick matchup. But if Naomi just gets lucky and enters a Merrick... If Naomi can luck into some early God cards and get into a Merrick flow state where she, like, has most of her heroes in play, either, like, shoved into the corner over here or shadow gamed or, like, mind controlled, then Merrick, especially when Naomi plays Merrick, Naomi can get some insane late game fate pressure to really stall Isabella out of getting that last harvest. So, again, I think that this is a matchup that I would consider Isabella favored, but we're going to see a mulligan from Naomi. But I do not think that it is, like, unwinnable. I don't think any matchup is unwinnable, to be fair. But, definitely, we're going to see a schedule right out the gate from Codokay here. That is basically a discard action, because that is scheduled into Oblivion. It might be like a daily report that she wants to discard, but might get later. Immediate Shizu off the top is a little unfortunate for Naomi, but as long as... Oh, they accidentally merged their discards. But as long as Naomi really needs to hit Kyber, or obviously Merrick always needs this, but if Naomi can hit Yugi specifically in this first shuffle, that will put Naomi in a very strong position to, this is a really good start to get these big anti-rule swings. Then that will give Naomi a very strong position for pressuring Codokay. See another huge one, and then yeah, so this is just what Isabella does. She just jumps between fate spots and discards for the early game. Ooh, double tournament bracket whiff. An Innocent Facade into Kaiba or Yugi here would be huge for Naomi. I'm going to do the kill. Yeah, Shizu can't be replayed by tournament brackets. They're all in the discard, so may as well get her out of there. We're going to see Connie here cover that top fate, which means that Naomi will most likely get a turn at her top fate. Although, if she ends up having, like, Rare Hunters and Innocent Facade, she might go to the double play to try and fish for Yugi or Kaiba. Getting Kaiba or Yugi early here is a huge deal for Naomi, especially in this matchup. But again, if she can get Yugi like off rip here, it would be a huge difference maker. It doesn't have any fate playing cards, unfortunately. We're gonna see a Fates, Prison Break. Not a good fate here at all. Essentially a whiff. You don't really want to move Connie here. You don't really want to move Codokay here. If you could just move Isabella, you'd want to. Make it where she can't discard and play. That's fair, because she's going to get to fate on her turn no matter what. It does uncover the top fate, which is a little unfortunate, but high probability of Naomi going to Kaiba Craft anyway. Also, if a hero gets played here, then Naomi gets to put, like, Innocent Facade in hand, which could definitely be used. Or, honestly, this can choose item. Might take Millennium Rod to just get Millennium Rod. Oh, Yugi and Kaiba. Oh, man, if Naomi had been able to snipe Yugi there, it would have gone so hard. Yeah, I think you play Yugi here. Kaiba can't be played anyway because of the Innocent Facades all being in the discard. Honestly, I think you take Millennium Ring here. You take Millennium Ring so you can set up. There's the problem of Bakura maybe coming out, but you want to like be able to put Ishizu and Kaiba back in to potentially nab them. Because all of the tournament brackets are in the discard, I'm pretty sure we saw all three pass already, so it's the only way that Naomi is really going to get progress there. So that'll be the rest of that turn. Gonna see a Fate, gonna get Ray, cover that top Fate. And then, did you get the ring? Did you get the rod? Chose to get the rod. I respect getting the rod. The rod is very important. It opens up a lot of avenues for Merrick. It gives him a lot of different things he can do. So I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I might have chosen the ring instead there. It would let you keep a little more power since Rod took everything there. And also because of the way Kaiba and Ishizu are set up. With Yugi out, you really need to nab, ideally, Kaiba very quickly. You basically never want Ishizu to be your first one, because if you get Kaiba or Yugi instead, then you can get a God card in the two items and then use them to clash Ishizu, which is way better for you. But also, you have to get all of them at some point, so it's not like getting to 3 strength in general so you can clash Bakura and Mai and Taya is a big... Taya you only need 2, but you know what I mean. Is also very important, so. I think that was a they know schedule right there. There's no way for Naomi to uncover the top fate here, so Codokay is very safe to schedule all of these and nothing can be done to them. So her next turn is going to be bonkers stupid. It's going to be a very dumb turn. Grabs Bakura here, so can set up the easy Yugi kill here. Could also Tombkeeper's Destiny. I'm pretty sure I saw all of the tournament brackets go by. Maybe I missed one. I thought she pulled one early with the Rare Hunter, and then the other two were pulled with by Codokay. So there's not really a point in trying to just gonna sadistic glee him instead of worrying about killing Yugi. More worried about just having the power for Rod and then getting rid of Bandit Keith. I could never play Merrick the way that Naomi does. All right. This is ridiculous. So we're going to see Vita for free. We're going to see the 1-cost demon list. And then daily report is a location other than Isabella's. So this is going to be a daily report for a discard, maybe. Yeah, discard with Ray and Crone here. Either one of them work for it. Going over to Grassy Field and scheduling another card for Oblivion years into the future. Honestly, yeah, I would set out harder the cards here. Get those stronger fates. Does Nami have Millennium Ring here? Getting Millennium Ring out and throwing out a Fate wouldn't be too bad. Because then you can try and luck into Kaiba next turn by shuffling him back in. Because Bakura is gone anyway. You're not going to get hit by him. Strings, not the Millennium Ring. Unfortunate. Well, maybe also the Millennium Ring. Nope, just getting Loomis out, setting him up at Dual Tower to kill someone later. I'm pretty sure Niami is similar to me, that we make our kill zone Dual Tower. You just live with it being covered. We are going to see the Vanquish kill the 2 rare hunters and strings to get rid of Yugi. That will trigger the premium farm. And then a Fate. Perfect timing on Dawn. I don't see a reason that you would choose Phil instead. Yeah, I would cover the activate at the gate. Force Codokay to go over to Gracefield and get less power to activate Demon List. Is this a Garen? I think it's Gilda or Emma, or maybe Norman is still in there. It's a high chance of a 5-strengther, which is really good for Codokay, especially if it's Emma. I don't think we've seen True Colors go by the way, so we're probably gonna be seeing that very soon. Weakening Connie, interesting. Now she's clashable. And then just throwing out Belle. Must not have gotten True Colors yet. Unfortunate. Well, this is a top Fate turn if Naomi wants it. None of those 3 cards are tournament brackets or God card holders, so with Naomi, unless Naomi has like Millennium Ring into Innocent Facade here and nabs Yugi, then because I would aim for Yugi if I were her, then probably what we're going to see happen is that Naomi is just going to keep up Fate pressure and let the deck fully reshuffle. And then hope to get lucky on the reshuffle with pulling some of them. It'll be harder to get lucky with Heart of the Cards out, but also with Millennium Ring out, that's very usable. Or it's very manageable. Honestly, Connie to Small Forest and Isabella to Grassy Field goes kind of hard. But also Norman, because it at least blows up whatever this is, and then just cover all of the power gain in the territory. I don't dislike. But also, yeah, I was about to say, put Connie at Crone and then Fate Lock Isabella. I think is very strong. Also putting Connie away from Crone, whatever. That's also nice. Yeah, just making sure that you don't get fated for another turn is always nice. Aw, ring? Ooh, got the ring. And it is possible that she could end up with 2 Innocent Facades here, or at least an Innocent Facade and a Rare Hunter. So, very high odds of being able to get Yugi. And like I said, if she can get Yugi, if she can luck into Yugi early enough, which we're kind of past the point of the game being early, but if she nets Yugi here, then it is going to be a very strong position for her. We're going to see the Harvest kill Ray. And then just schedule a card that Sarah will make free. Is going to the double play. Are we going to see Yugi shuffled back in via the ring? Indeed we are. This is going to be a big difference maker on if she hits this or not. The Merrick slot machine has begun. Didn't get it. Tomb Keepers into the other Innocent Facade, and you've got it, guaranteed. She's got it. I wonder if she's going to put Yugi at Loomis, even though it covers the gain 1 Vanquish. I usually like to have him at, like, Dual Tower instead. Oh, look. Boyfriend and girlfriend. Is going to put him at Kaiba Craft. Getting Yugi here is a huge deal. Now what Naomi really needs, I don't remember, does Naomi use Shadow Games? I'm pretty sure the person I know who doesn't use Shadow Games is Lark. He just YOLOs it. But if Naomi can Shadow Game Yugi and get Umbra out, like in the next 2 turns, 3 turns even, we're going to see it's time to go, and then the Harvest killed Ray, and then that just cleans up this territory a lot, because that's how Isabella does. If we could see, a lot of progress here on getting Yugi killed ASAP. Is going to pull a Shizu here, which is unfortunate, but at least it's not Kaiba. There are 2 major factors here. Is getting Yugi shadow gamed and killed, so that way Naomi will be at 3 strength forever, minimum from there on. And also if she pulls Kaiba anytime soon. If she lucks into Kaiba with an Innocent Facade or a Rare Hunter, then she will be in an incredibly strong position. We are going to see a Rare Hunter. Didn't get Kaiba, unfortunately. Pretty low odds. I think Joey is the one in there. You could play Joey, just have him sit there and rod him later and maybe get an anti-rule with his ability, which would be very funny. Honestly, since Yugi's going to be sitting there for a while, you don't lose anything from playing Joey here. Because then, like, you've already given up Kaiba Craft for the foreseeable future because Yugi is here. Decided in the end not to do it. I would have done it, to be honest. That's right, I would have done it. I would have did it. Honestly, Insider's Knowledge to take away power isn't bad here, but also getting another hero on board on that top fate, especially when Kaiba is in the rotation, is not bad by any means. Merrick is so stressful to play because there's so much RNG with if he yoinks, if you get the Kaiba in the Yugi pulls or not. Nami really needs to Shadow Game Yugi soon, though. I know we saw at least one Shadow Game discarded earlier. I don't know if we saw two. I'm pretty certain we haven't seen 3 go by, so she's got to have at least one coming up, I think. I could be wrong, but I think. We are going to see Crone moved further away from Gilda and then knocking that down. I was about to say, discarding True Colors. This is like the perfect situation for True Colors. You get to go kill Gilda, and then you get to go kill Dawn and activate Demonless. No Kaiba, but does get Bakura here, which is going to cover Domino City. And with this setup, there's guaranteed another Fate coming that is quite likely to hit Kaiba. 50-50, basically. There's the Shadow Game on Yugi. Yeah, Naomi's got to get this Yugi kill quick. Gonna go kill Gilda, move Crone over. Play out Premium Farm, go for a big Fate. Did get Kaiba, very unfortunate. I would double stack Pharaoh's Tomb here, to be honest. No, I wouldn't, because then you can mind control Kaiba into killing a Shizu. Kaiba, the only good place to put Kaiba is Kaiba Craft or Dual Tower. I'd probably put him at Dual Tower. Oh no, that's Bakura right there, so you can put him where Bakura is, yeah. I forgot that was Bakura out, so Millennium Rod is off right now. With True Colors out, there's not a whole lot of point in fading here. Honestly, if Naomi has an ally to play into Kybercraft to kill Yugi, I would go to Dual Tower and get the Yugi kill. Get up to 3 strength so that when you go to Domino City, you can clash Bakura. Get that first God card. We're going to see a false God card. That'll do it. Loses 2 power to it total. 1 to play it and 1 to use it. And that's a Shadow Game to Yugi. That will trigger Premium Farm. And Naomi is at 3 strength, and Codokay does not even have a child out yet. So this is looking pretty good for Naomi. But again, this is Merrick, so it's really going to come down to grabbing Kaiba and Ishizu. The fact that both of them are in play is very rough for Naomi. However, Naomi has not only has Millennium Rod out, but also has an easy turn of going to Domino, gaining 3, and clashing Bakura, which will set Naomi up to be able to Rod Kaiba or Ishizu and then use them to try and defeat each other. Really, I think what Naomi wants to do is get an opportunity to Rod Kaiba, move to Dual Tower, move Kaiba to Ishizu, and then Kaiba and Ishizu would both be 3 strength in that scenario, and then use Kaiba to defeat Ishizu, play an Innocent Facade, and hopefully nab one of them either through Millennium Ring or through a tournament bracket or what have you. That's the ideal outcome for Naomi there. And we are seeing a demon list here, and it is going to hit Emma. I had to tab out for a second again, sorry. Getting Emma is great. Emma is the perfect, not perfect, but the, I guess it still would be considered, I think the word perfect would still work here. The ideal one to get. Emma is the one that you want. I'm going to see if they know here to schedule something for 3 turns from now. But Emma is the most damaging child, so that is the child that you want to get with Demon List. Hitting a mom as an enemy on Emma right now would actually be really good for Naomi. A Norman or a Dawn wouldn't be bad either. Looks like Naomi is just going to go do the big gain 3 and Shadow Game Bakura! so that he can't be replayed. That's actually so gangster. That is so gangster. I love that play. Holy cow, I love that so much. Just taking Bakura out of the... So this is what Naomi does, and this is part of the reason Naomi is so good at recognizing and managing to just lock away heroes. So Yugi and Bakura are both out of the game, probably for most, if not all of it, unless Naomi decides to, like, nuke Yugi for Heart of the Cards, or do a sadistic Glee play on either of them. But, now with Bakura shadow gamed, the Millennium items are on until Naomi says otherwise. So that means there's really nothing that can stop Naomi from doing the possess Kaiba, possess Ishizu, use them to vanquish each other shenanigans. Which is going to make it much more doable for Naomi to get her hands on either of them. Since she got Yugi, which is fantastic for her, we're probably going to see a Joey tournament bracket here, but also Taya. Honestly, yeah, I'd cover Dual Tower. If you're going to play Taya, I'd cover Dual Tower to stop the Kaiba possess into a Shizu kill. Because a Dual Tower, it would stop the Kaiba move over to a Shizu. But now, if Naomi can just nab either one of these two in the next couple of turns to get to 4 strength, then she will have so much control. Yugi is shadow gamed, so once she gets a 4th god card, she can kill everyone by clashing, which gives a lot of room for Merrick to work with. We are going to see the Kaiba shenanigans. All right, here we go. Does Naomi have enough to do a Oh, Naomi's actually going to use Millennium Ring first to reshuffle it, and now it's 3 out of 6 of these cards are a tournament bracket. Oh, there's a tournament bracket, and that's going to be an instant Ishizu kill to get up to 4. Now, if Naomi pulls a tournament bracket and plays out Kaiba, then she is in Showdown, and it's like game, basically. Holy cow, the way that Naomi plays Merrick is incredible. We are going to see a bit of strength loss on Emma here, getting her -2. And Codokay is going to be doing a lot of fading. Needs to, like, be playing Kaiba and Ishizu nonstop. Very likely to get a tournament bracket here. But didn't get it! Playing Mai not only because it's the one that covers, but also because it'll let her try and set this. But, is there a hero in there? I don't know if there's a hero in there. If there's a hero in there, then Naomi can undo... There is! It's Kaiba. Kaiba is in there. So, Naomi can actually shuffle Kaiba back in to undo that setup. And just hope to luck into him. But I think most, if not all, of Naomi's stuff is in the discard. We could see, like, a Domino City turn just to possess Mai and maybe even Sadistic Leer to get the power right back, and then shuffle her in to mess up the ordering. Oh my goodness, if Naomi has, like, I think all the innocent facades, I can't even say it, are in the discard. I don't know. This is a crazy game. I'm so glad we got to see Naomi play. Even if Naomi ends up losing this one, I'm so glad we got to see Naomi play Merrick at least once. No one plays Merrick like Naomi plays Merrick. It's a treat to watch. It's fun to commentate. Naomi's looking in that discard trying to figure out what Codokay has going on. Butter wants to know what's happening. He's looking at the scheduled cards. Yeah, Naomi's putting a lot of thought into what she wants to do this turn. A lot of thought into it. I'm clicking back into my DMs with Swallet as we wait for Naomi here. Because the thing he was messaging me about earlier was Shishio's card back, and let me tell you, chat, he has cooked yet again. He has cooked yet again. Oh my goodness. By the time this video goes live, you guys will probably already saw it. I'm probably gonna, like, send this in speculation, like, ASAP. Because, man, it looks good. How does he do it, chat? How How is Swallet the greatest to ever do it? What a guy. What a guy, that Swallet. Swallet appreciation. Everyone in the Premiere chat, everyone watching this after the fact, just leave a YouTube comment. Tell me your favorite thing about Swallet. My favorite thing about Swallet is that he is a really nice guy and fun to talk to. We're going to see a trap card and a Cruel Puppeteer, and then just a big discard as Naomi wants to get back to those. Naomi really just needs to draw in. It's very easy for Naomi to get the Kaiba kill at this point. Naomi just needs to have the cards to play Kaiba. And the second Naomi, it doesn't even matter. It does not even matter if Naomi gets, It does not even matter if Naomi, like, shadow games a Shizu or Kaiba. The second Naomi gets the third God card on her and enters Showdown, it is so easy for her to close out this game, especially with Yugi and Bakura both under Shadow Game. It is insanely easy for her to close out this game, like, instantly. We're going to see a full triple fate here, and both tournament brackets and Joey, so that means that you will be just tournament bracketing Kaiba here. This will trigger the Cruel Puppeteer, so that's probably going to be picking up an Innocent Facade, if I had to guess. It is possible for Naomi to go to Dual Tower, possess Kaiba, move him into Mai, and kill her, but Naomi will not have any power after doing that, which means that she will not be able to, play Innocent Facade or what have you. Does have to reveal this card to prove that it's an effector item. There's also a world where she takes Trap Card here, Trap Cards Kaiba, so that when she clashes him, she can just use Heart of the Cards, actually. This is one of the really weird things about Merrick. Heart of the Cards is very damaging to him, and it's basically always worth playing. It is Innocent Facade, though. But it actually lets you ditch Kaiba or Yugi at an optimal time to replay them. Honestly, I probably would have gone for the... She might have Shadow Game in hand. I probably would have picked up the last Shadow Game there and then gone to my bottom fate here and hit Kaiba with the Shadow Game so that when you go to Domino next turn and clash him, he's locked with Heart of the Cards until you're ready to play him. Especially in this position where if Naomi pulls Kaiba, it's basically game. The one threat that Naomi has right now is that she has to get this Kaiba kill without getting stuck in a loop of a Shizu being replayed and taking Ra. Because if a Shizu is replayed, then Naomi has to ignore Kaiba for a minute and go kill a Shizu instead to get back Ra so that she can clash Kaiba. Why am I getting so many DMs? We're going to see Carrying Mother trigger because Shadow Game is still a character because it's Yugi with a strength value. And then we are going to see Possessing Taya, actually, with the rod here just to get her out of... So that's 3 heroes just out of play. And immediately Sadistic Linger to get 3 power back. Very, very good. The main thing Naomi does not want to see here is Naomi does not want to see a Shizu off the top. Mom is an enemy on Emma is fine here. Codokay is almost certainly going to go and do a Fate here at Grassy Field. So just really the main thing is we don't want to see a Shizu here. That would be very bad for Naomi. Very good for Codokay though. So Codokay wants to see it. I said we like we're all against Codokay. That's not the case. I'm not against Codokay. I'm just very pro Merrick winning games. I love to see it because you know Merrick has Merrick much like Tetsuo has the didn't get her. Did get Taya back. Merrick very much has the, you probably anti-rule here to take away that 2 power so that the dual tower possession play can't happen. But, Merrick has a tendency to be seen as just a much weaker villain because he has those RNG elements. So it's just really nice to see when he wins because, you know, when he does get a little bit of RNG in his favor, I don't think he even needs the game to go perfectly for him. This game has not been perfect for Naomi at all. But when he just gets a little bit of luck in his favor, it goes pretty hard. What is Naomi going to do here? Honestly, going and killing Kaiba wouldn't be that bad. You would gain 3 power. You could even possess Mai to open the top fate and kill Kaiba, and then that stops Codokay from playing a Shizu if Codokay pulls a tournament bracket. Because if Codokay pulls a tournament bracket, she basically has to play Kaiba instead. Not possessing Mai is interesting. But this still puts up the situation where Codokay, if she pulls a Shizu and a tournament bracket, she basically has to choose Kaiba in that situation. We are going to see a bedtime. I also didn't see this Ray activate, so Ray is in play. So it looks like Codokay is going to go for 2 5-strengthers. If that's what the demon list gives you, that's what you deal with. Codokay is getting to that very dangerous point where, like, at any moment we could see, a, actually really wanted to see a Shizu with a tournament bracket there for Naomi. A little unfortunate that she wasn't also there. Joey being there is nice, I guess. But, she could very easily start getting into harvests and whatnot. She's gonna have to take some time to go gain some power here in a second. Although I just realized this could be game. Go here, gain 2, possess Kaiba, move him, kill Mai, play a card, and if it's an Innocent Facade or whatever, which I think we know there's an Innocent Facade in hand, if it pulls Kaiba, it's game. It would all come down to the luck of the draw, as they say. I mean, it's Merrick. You got to take this opportunity. You spin 4, Kaiba's a 3-strengther, move him in, kill Mai. If you pull Kaiba here, you win. You just play him to you and it's game. Whether you shuffle him in and play him or you get a tournament bracket. We saw at least 2 tournament brackets earlier. I'm not sure if there's even one left in here. If there's no tournament bracket in here, you have to Millennium Ring Kaiba in and then just hope you get lucky. You gotta go for it, Naomi. You gotta go for it. You know we all want to see it. Just get the hit. Oh, only a rare hunter. Oh, no. Ah, Shizu. Well, play a Shizu to you and then clash her. Alas. Gonna shuffle back in Taya. Shuffling back in Taya is huge here. I don't know if there are any tournament brackets in here, but a Fate will not reshuffle, which might guarantee the Kaiba play, especially if there's not a tournament bracket in there. This might have just set up game for Naomi, potentially. If Codokay fates, she'll be setting up Naomi for the win, potentially, depending on how this Fate deck is sorted. I don't know what's in it exactly. Naomi and Codokay certainly know. It's the one problem with being a spectator when watching these is that I can't check discard piles. Maybe I should look into trying to set that up in the future. Is just going to go to Gracefield, doesn't want to fate. Still, even without fating, there's still a chance that Naomi could just, like, get it. If Naomi has 2 Innocent Facades in hand, it's nearly guaranteed. An Innocent Facade and a Rare Hunter, or, like, an Innocent Facade and Disposable Pawns, makes it insanely likely. This could just be game here. What are we going to see, Naomi? Going to Pharaoh's Tomb and just discarding. So now we're playing chicken, where if Codokay fates, she sets the game up for Naomi. But if Codokay doesn't fate, then Naomi gets to dig until she has 2 Innocent Facades and fate spam while she does it, and gain power for Millennium Rod plays. If Naomi gets 2 Innocent Facades in hand, it's nearly guaranteed, whether Codokay fates or not, that she'll be able to pull Kaiba by shuffling him in, because it'll be 1 card out of 5, and she gets to reveal 4 cards, insanely in her favor, to pull Kaiba and win the game, if she can just get a second Innocent Facade in hand. If Codokay fates, and I believe all 3 tournament brackets are in the discard, as well as Joey, all of the cards that would mess up this deck order. If Codokay fates and brings it down to 1 card, it doesn't matter what she plays, Naomi will then get to play a Rare Hunter or shuffle in Kaiba and play an Innocent Facade or whatever, and guarantee get Kaiba and win the game. So this is an incredible situation that Naomi is set up here with Merrick. Just a little bit of fate, luck, and manipulation. Naomi's been doing a lot of manipulating the fate deck via Millennium Ring and what have you. So it's an incredible game of chicken. What on earth is Naomi thinking about here? if your plan is what I think it is, if it's set up how I think it is, then you play Connie to small forest tier probably, and then move Isabella to the gate so that she can't, like, gain power and make progress. Oh, you can't move her to the gate because Grandmother Sarah is there, so yeah, you just block the fate. That's fine, too. Shuffling in Kaiba here. Why? Oh, going for it. Got it. That's game. That was game anyway. That puts Kaiba in Obelisk, and that's game. Wow, okay, yeah, she just went for it and got it. That was astounding to me, because Crone could just open up the fate anyway. I was amazed that she did that instead of, like, taking longer and playing it. She also had the disposable pawn. She could have really YOLO'd it at Domino City. I'm kind of surprised that she didn't YOLO it at Domino City instead of doing the other stuff. What a merit game by Naomi. I don't think that was a super lucky merit game. It was definitely like a little on the luck factor, because she got Yugi first and pulled a Shizu when she needed it and all. But Yugi was played by Codokay, and I think all three of them were played by Codokay at least once. So it's not like that was a like, oh wow, Merrick pulled all three of them each time he went for him kind of game, right? Super well played by Naomi. Such a pleasure to get to see that Merrick game and get to... I think this is the only thumbnail Merrick is going to be in, right? Was he in one other? I don't remember. I don't recall. That was our third game? I think that was our third game. Is Naomi up 2 and Codokay is up 1? So this could be match game. I believe it's Naomi 2, Codokay 1. So Codokay has to win 2 games in a row here to become the champion. Naomi just has to win 1. Naomi does have to get counterpicked here by Codokay, but then if Naomi loses, Naomi gets to counterpick on the last game. But as we've seen, I think both of these players have just won going second, haven't they? Didn't they both win one of these going second? I'm not sure. But we're going to see the Merrick and the Orochi ban. One Merrick was enough for Codokay, and I don't blame her at all on that. Naomi's Merrick is nightmarish. Absolutely crazy. I think Naomi has beaten Codokay's Isabella twice, which is crazy. Honestly, now I think about it, because of the way that Merrick can, like, lock down heroes with Shadow Game and Millennium Rod, maybe Merrick actually is one of the best plays into Isabella, because one of the things... Oh, playing Gendo. Oh, boy, here we go. I hate commentating Gendo games. I love playing Gendo. I hate commentating his games. But now that I think about it, because of the fact, like, one of the things that makes Isabella such a scourge in the meta right now is that she can just fate and fate and fate while discarding and, like, moving her hand and getting the cards she needs. And she's very good at uncovering with Harvest, Crone, and True Colors all existing, and then Bell to get them back as needed. Diabormon into Gendo. Oh, baby. I have to commentate the one character in the game thus far that I've made, and then Gendo, who I hate seeing other people play, because I feel like I'm the only person who plays Gendo, right? I actually don't remember seeing Naomi play Gendo. I'm really curious to see how she plays. She probably plays more like Butter. Butter also plays Gendo very well, to be clear. He doesn't play Gendo exactly like I do, but it's pretty similar to how I play Gendo. So I don't mind commentating a Butter Gendo game. Most other Gendo games, it kind of hurts me on a physical level. Gendo is a very difficult character, I feel like, to play optimally. I talked about this in Diabormon's dev commentary that I did, actually, way back when. About how, what was I going to say? Can't think of what I was going to say. I simply can't think of what I was going to say, I'm sorry. Oh, about how, Diaboromon, or, Gendo is one of the, like, fate-resistant slow characters, but, he's very, very difficult to learn, so, like, not a lot of people were playing him, which was unfortunate for the meta at the time, because it meant that heavy faders were, like, really, really strong in the meta, because characters like Gendo, people just weren't playing them. But, so I made Diaboromon, who's also one of those fate-resistant characters that's kind of slow, but, fates don't do a lot to him by the end game in exchange, but he's a lot simpler to play. So seeing these two against each other is, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Oh, I actually got a message saying that one of them stepped away to use the restroom, but they got back while I was yapping, so we're good to go. All right. Going first as Diaboromon is always incredible, because it means you get to use Tokyo Bay before it's locked down for the rest of your life. You're going to see a big discard. I think I saw a lot of mass clones and multiplication in there. Double Fruit of Life. Honestly, not a bad first fate on Gendo because you didn't pull a red alert, which means there are red alerts in here to be found. You want to get as deep into Gendo's fate deck as you can without pulling more than one red alert. Pulling one red alert is perfectly fine. You like that even, just to have an angel on the board messing with Gendo a lot. When you pull two of them is when it gets rough. Getting Paladin mode out right out the gate, not super ideal because it means that Imperial Dramon isn't taking away any power here, but we are also going to see, this is very interesting, and I think Naomi understands this matchup right out the gate. Normally you lock down this top fate, but Gendo doesn't mind being heavy fated, so he doesn't actually want to stop fates. He wants to stop multiple card plays so that Diaboromon is slowed down even more than usual. We're going to see a Fruit of Knowledge play here. Turn 1 Gendo, open Terminal Dogma. Fruit of Knowledge is one of my favorite opening Gendo turns. Discarding all the purposes of Nerve. Alright, maybe Naomi does play Gendo like me, in which case I'm actually kind of excited to commentate this now. I think this is going to be a very fun matchup. Especially seeing Naomi immediately realizing, like, covering... By the way, getting Imperial Dramon immediately. It's nice to already have Paladin mode out, so you don't have to... The thing about Paladin mode is that when you pull it, you have to play it, because you need it out for the endgame. So it can kind of force you into taking a fate you don't love at the moment, if you really want to do, like, if you really want to do a Destined Bond on Angelomon during the Inframon phase, or, like, a deletion, or a data overload, even, to, like, put Diaboromon in a bad spot. So but also, at the same time, hitting when there's no power to remove kind of sucks. We're going to see Codokay go get 2 basic datas out and get some power, and then go into Tokyo Bay. Yeah, a little bit of fate pressure here is good. I said that this fate wasn't bad because it didn't lose a red alert and all, and it got you further in the deck. Fruit of Life is a bad fate, so you want it gone. But also, the ideal fate is getting Committee Meeting or Mass Production Ava out the gate. And honestly, yeah, I would probably play the Committee Meeting here in this situation. Other than the red alert, there are decent odds that another red alert is near the top and you pull it, and you really don't want to play more than one red alert ever, really, unless Adam is out, at least. When Adam is out, it's not too bad to, like, get a second angel out. We're going to see a Nerve Tank and then a Fate. These two are playing fast. We're going to see Omnimon, again, taking away those double plays and then killing. Yeah, this is... When you don't care about being fated, this is what you do to Diaboromon. You take away all of these double plays, which slows him down considerably. The one thing I'm worried about here is now Catastrophe Cannon power gain is on with the gain 2 covered. We're going to see a multi-fate, and getting a mass production with that multi-fate is very good. I'm kind of surprised that Naomi put this Nerve Tank here to start. I definitely would have put the Nerve Tank probably at Dogma or maybe Command Center, because you really just want to protect those locations early and uncover them until you get your stuff going, until you get your setup done. We're going to see a Nerve Tank thrown out here. Really wants to get Magi or Misato in play so that she can take a Committee Meeting turn. Playing Legacy of Gahern. Never mind. I hate how Naomi plays this character. I hate it. I hate it a lot. There's almost never a good situation to be playing Legacy of Gahern. Discarding the Control Orb. Discarding Catastrophe Cannon here is interesting. You can spend 1 on it to gain 2 and play a card. It's a lot of hand movement and all. Or just do it to do big power gain once one of the ones get covered. I did not see what that fate was. There's the Magi, which is great. Really wants to get the Magi hand movement going. Oh, the fate was another mass production right here. Now Naomi can comfortably take the Terminal Dogma turn. I think that was that a full fate? I think that might have been a full fate. I think that Codokay might have realized that if these top fates are being left open, then her best option is probably to actually fate spam Gendo. Normally with Gendo, you want to do slow fates and multi-fating early. Probably do a normal fate for the first maybe 2 of them. Try and get some mass productions to slow them down in the early game. But when you're in a situation like this, you kind of actually want to fate spam Gendo and just get to the deck reshuffle, because if you can reshuffle the deck while there are heroes in play, like mass production or Committee Meeting, or even like AT fields in play, then you can, oh my goodness, really bank it on. I mean, you're going to get the power when, you're going to get the countdowns, like, guaranteed at some point, because eventually Gendo has to go to Terminal Dogma and kill the Committee Meeting. So those are very good investments. They will trigger. What is Naomi doing here? Gotten through this deck really fast. See, now, this is where it gets weird, because now what you probably want to do is you slowed down Diaboromon in the early game, but what you probably want to do now as Gendo is get that top fate covered so that red alerts can't start going like crazy. Getting Misato and Ritsuko out here is really good. A betrayal is definitely coming for Misato's head, but it is what it is. But now you kind of want to, like, block... You want to kill these heroes so that they're in the shuffle for the reshuffle, because the reshuffle is almost surely going to happen. We're going back to multi-fates, huh? But you want to cover up this top fate because no Sumimon yet, down to 8 cards. Was Digivolution played for Sumimon or discarded? Oh, I activated Misato for that play and then drew 2 because of Ritsuko. Get that out of there. This is looking really good for Naomi. It is going to be hard for Diaboromon to rush, although he does have a lot of power stockpiled to maybe get through Inframon pretty quick. Still no Sumemon, though. Either hasn't drawn it or is holding it for some reason. Is Naomi going to try and not give these countdowns until she can win the game? That would be hilarious if so. There's no Angel out, so she doesn't need the third Impact Atom play. Actually, we're probably going to see an Angel played right here. Is Codokay just not drawing Sumemon? Is that what's happening right now? This is crazy. Multifating a mass production here. I can't even, like, this is such a weird game. I can't even predict how this is going to go from this point on. I don't know which one of them is in the lead. I think it's Gendo, but Diaboromon has 8 power. He does have to spend 5 power to play Sumemon and then Caramon, so he's like at 3 in terms of what he needs for Inframon. But he also is probably going to go to Apartments when he plays one of those 2 and gain another 3, so he's actually going to be at like 6. This is so weird. And those countdowns are like gonna trigger. Naomi really needs to uncover Command Center before playing Adam. Data Overload and Angelwomon. A data overload to Military Network isn't too bad here, actually, but also Angelwomon to move those basic datas and cover the top fate would be pretty good. But honestly, I would data overload and then set up killing the mass production, next turn kill the mass production, and then Magi to start getting back to horrible truths for the Atom play. But I don't hate playing Angelwomon here at all. It's honestly, if you find a good opportunity to play Angelwomon against Diaboromon, if you're on the fence about Angelwomon or another fate, I think it's probably good to default to... Does Angelwomon let you do that? It is up to 2. Yeah, I didn't know that you could only choose 2 there. I've never done it myself before. Playing Fruit of Knowledge is pretty interesting here. But, it's good to get Angelwomon out because Angelwomon into, like, Destined Bonds and deletions can get Diaboromon stuck in Inframon for a while, and Diaboromon cannot kill Angelwomon until he becomes Diaboromon. So, having Angelwomon on the board is actually a huge boon because it makes those Destined Bonds during Inframon's phase super tasty. Basically, it's guaranteed, basically, to always stop Inframon from getting the discard, and it's usually very annoying to set it back up. Did you get Kuramon yet? Or Sumamon yet? There we go. PSA, when you draw Digivolution, you should play it for the form you need. It can make a huge difference. We're seeing a big Sumamon shuffle here. Presumably Caramon is the one card being kept in hand. If she doesn't have Caramon in hand, he's the last card there. Very likely to get it. We're going to see a multi-fate into a Red Alert. I assume that Naomi has third Impact because I don't think we've seen it pass, which means that this Angel doesn't really matter. It just forces a double play. I really hope that Naomi kills this mass production Ava before doing the Red Alert crawl because I think it will be better for her in the long run if Command Center is open, especially with the countdowns out. Yeah, if she's going here, then she has it. Yep. So probably just gain 2, and then you can do a Masato play, or you can Magi and draw a lot. Magiing here is pretty great with Ritsuko out because it's going to... Oh, Leliel actually moves here. That's funny. Ooh, playing Sector Lockdown. Oh my goodness, for Sector Lockdown gaming? Sector Lockdown could be a major issue with Diaboromon specifically Because that top fate, I don't think we've seen any Cable Crushers, actually, but that top fate is going to get pretty locked down soon. But also, if we see Caramon here, that's Caramon with 7 power, so already Infamon is kind of, like, ready to go. Yeah, it's just going to take 2 turns for Caramon to get the amount of power he needs, so. So here we see Adam play and Third Impact. Indeed we do. And then if those aren't horrible truths, you probably discard them. This is going to be something. Dodging these countdowns is astounding that Naomi is just getting away from these. We are going to see Naomi go and actually use a Cable Crusher here to open up that top fate and try and pull a red alert. I think there's only 1 red alert in here. Nami is going to get Sync Failed back in the discard. I think all of the mass productions have left already. So Committee Meeting will be the only thing, theoretically, out of the Fate deck on the reshuffle. And with Sector Lockdown, that could be really in... You probably shuffle back in Sector Lockdown, as funny as it is. You could take away one of the robots. But honestly, oh man, I'd be really scared of Sector Lockdown with 2 kid robots already set up and ready to go here. I would actually be really worried about Sector Lockdown, bro. I don't know. I don't know what Fate I would do here. I don't blame Codokay for taking her time to think on this one. I think that's the right play, but oh man, it doesn't feel good. Oh, it doesn't feel good. Spider. You gonna do just the do-si-do to... Oh no, you can't replay the thing because Sync Failed is still out. So you can activate for something else here. Magi and Ritsuko to get more cards, or Misato to get another card in play, and then draw 2 from Ritsuko. It's good no matter what. We're going to see a Magi. I don't think she's played a card yet. She's probably trying to get back to Sector Lockdown. Just going to get a Nerve Tank out there to help with the 5 Strength, or if they show up. Very smart. Yeah, Codokay has to, like, Fate Spam here now. Because Codokay really, really, really needs to get, yeah, you can only gain 2 here. None of the gain 1s are covered. Throw out another special data. I think Codokay might have a Cable Crusher in hand. Is that 3 card plays? Oh, using the card play from the Catastrophe because she just gained 2 off of it. Yeah. This is going to be such a weird game, bro. Red Alert's one of the last ones in there. Honestly, I might have still taken Misato there, but I don't blame hitting Ritsuko. Eyeball. You probably go to Tokyo 3 here, try and cover this top fate, and do whatever the other thing I'm thinking of is. Yeah, should be it too. Do a fate, try and cover this top fate, and then play Horrible Truth. Your Horrible Truth target is probably Misato. You have Magi for activate targeting anyway. But you just really... I mean, like, this is Gendo, right? You just really... This is going to be a red alert. There's nothing you can do to stop that from getting played. But if you can just block the fate pressure, potentially, or just get heroes out to slow down Diabormon's endgame, you just have to hope that the red alerts are kind to you in the final shuffle. Yeah, just War Greymon on that top fate makes sense. Codokay cannot play Infamon if she goes here, I'm pretty sure. She'll get to 15, pay 2 for Cable Crusher, then be at 14. Yeah. We will see a Horrible Truth. It will be on Misato, and then just use the Ava 0-0, leaving Rei as a potential 5-strength killer with Shinji, and then don't forget to Clash Ritsuko. Don't forget to Clash Ritsuko. This is... Oh, I just realized this is no power gain, so all of the countdowns are triggering. Ooh, all of the countdowns finally coming out could be a big issue here. Control Orb and then double premium data. Ooh. This is just swung... Oh, the other premium data must be in hand. This is just swung very in Codokay's favor with those countdowns finally triggering. That's a huge buff to this end game. Is going to go and eat the special data. Which you have to do. She needs to Cable Crush and then get more fates going here. Don't forget to gain your 1 here at Tokyo Bay. Using the other play guard for premium. I think she forgot to gain 1. We are going to see the red alert here. And now the reshuffle is here. So now it's all really going to come down to this reshuffle. If the red alerts shuffle high... If all of them shuffle high and Codokay pulls a double red alert, it's in Naomi's favor. If they shuffle high but it's not a double red alert It's in, oh, Ava Cage isn't out, I just realized, which is crazy. Then it's, in Codokay's favor. If, just setting up to be able to do Nerve Tank kills. If it shuffles low, if they all shuffle low, it's in Naomi's favor. There are two situations where it's Naomi's favor. There's one situation where it's Codokay's favor, but I think the Codokay's favor one is more likely. Honestly, I understand keeping the premiums out because they're very useful, but I probably would have eaten the premium here to gain the extra 3, but instead Codokay is wanting to ensure that she gets out of Inframon immediately, it looks like. No, whatchamacallit here. This could be rough. I don't know if she has a Cable Crusher. Because even if this is a 5-strengther, Naomi fates and kills the next Angel. Oh no, you betray and then hope for a 5-strengther. You betray Shinji or Rei and then you hope for a 5-strengther. That's the play. And then it all comes down to, there are 3 5-strengthers in here. I don't think we've seen a single one. No, you gotta play the 5-strengther. No, I don't agree with that. You gotta bet on the 5-strengther. This buys you like 1 extra turn if it's not a 5-strengther, but now if it is a 5-strengther, then you like threw. It was a 3-strengther anyway. It was a 3-strengther anyway. Never punished. that was the safer play. I don't begrudge the safer play there. But I would fate first here and see what you get. I don't think that Codokay has a whatchamacallit. That will get rid of Sandolphin. And then even if Codokay can fate, it's 12 cards, 3 of them are red alerts. A Brave Resolve Imperial Dramon to Tokyo Bay is probably what I would do. I would Brave Resolve Imperial Dramon to Tokyo Bay, take away 2 power, and cover Tokyo Bay. If Codokay doesn't have a Cable Crusher, this is basically game. There's a world where with this much on board and like having whatchamacallit ready to go, playing Kabuterimon's also fine. I would have done the Imperial Dramon move, but this is also good. If Codokay doesn't have a Cable Crusher, I think it's probably game. If Codokay does have a Cable Crusher, then it depends on pulling the red alert. Because what'll happen is Gendo will go to Terminal Dogma, activate Magi, draw into an ally to kill Mass Production next turn, and then clash Committee Meeting. And then it all just depends. Betrayal is gone, Committee and Ava are out. There are only 2 Avas in here that can do Fates. Oh, ditching the premium data to no benefit. That hurts. You hate to do that. Oh, just playing Inframon and clashing here. Okay, so not getting the, this is set up where you go straight into Diaboromon. Ooh, straight into Diaboromon. Is there a way? Is there a, without enough mass clones out to, and the power to, I don't know. I don't feel good about it. I mean, here you just go to Committee Meeting because you want your top fate open anyway, and then you, like, open Terminal Dogma and do a Magi. And it's possible. This would be an incredible, like, it would be incredible to pull this out if Codokay could do it. Gonna actually kill the Mass Production first to do the gain 2. Did you just not gain 2 and activate Magi there for some reason? Codokay is Diaboromon right now and has to go Fate because it's game on board. Did get a Mass Production, so that's 1 more turn. Bought 1 more turn. There's only 1 more Mass Production in these 10 cards. So, honestly, pulling that Mass Production was very lucky. It was very lucky. There's nowhere safe to put it because with the power and all that happens is that Naomi goes and clashes Committee Meeting and then uses Magi to draw into an ally to kill the Mass Production. The only way that Naomi doesn't lose is either she wins next turn, or she either wins next turn, or she pulls the other Mass Production. I think she can set up game here because she can use the premium to gain 3. That puts you at 5. You do a Catastrophe here to kill Angelwomon. Kills War Greymon. Can she? Can she do it? Can she play Armageddon, kill Omnimon, and then activate the ability on Imperial Dramon? I don't think she can. Maybe she can. If she does it, she wins. If she doesn't, she loses. Discard everything. Wow. There's also a world where Naomi doesn't draw a playable ally here, but I just find it very unlikely. This is it. If you don't have the win here, you have to go Fate and hope you pull the 1 other Mass Production Ava because it will buy you exactly 1 more turn. And 1 more turn is all you need because you definitely win in 2 turns, surely. Well, maybe. Should, theoretically. Yeah, because you just need to draw like a Catastrophe again. You go to Tokyo, you discard your hand, hope you draw Catastrophe, play Armageddon. There's also the possibility that Codokay doesn't have Armageddon in hand. She can put Digivolution in hand unless it's in her discard with basic data at, like, Omnimon's location or at Imperial Dramon's location. This is such a nail-biter. This is such a nail-biter. If Codokay loses this game, can I use Diaboromon in the thumbnail and it wouldn't spoil anything? I think it wouldn't spoil it, right? I think. Because if the math works out. The thing about the thumbnails is that I can't use the villain from the third game in a best of 3. Because if I use, for instance, like, if it's a best of 3 and someone plays Loxus in the third game only, and I put Loxus in the thumbnail, then the people watching the first 2 games, when they don't see Loxus, they know who wins the second game, because they know there has to be a third game where Loxus is played, which means whoever lost the first game has to win the second game for a third game to happen. But I think with how this best of 5 works, I can show Diaboromon here in the thumbnail, even if Codokay loses this, and you wouldn't be able to tell. Codokay doesn't have it on board, so Codokay is now going to go and try and pull a mass production Ava. If she pulls a mass production, she probably wins. If she doesn't, she loses. It's a 2 in 10, it's a 1 in 5 chance. She's going to pull 2 cards out of a 10 card deck, and she's looking for one specific card. We are seeing Armageddon played. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think you use Armageddon's ability here on Omnimon unless you have to for game, because then you risk not being able to kill Imperial Dramon with the ability. Big discard. Ooh, didn't get it. Well, gets rid of the Magi, so if Naomi doesn't have a Nerve Tank or Nerve Artillery in hand, then Codokay can still win this. But if Naomi has either, then it's game. Naomi is not immediate. Oh, Naomi doesn't have it! She has to play Shinji and then, like, play another 1-strength ally or get a robot. I don't know. I think Betrayal is in the discard. Holy cow, this is insane. Destined Bond? I think it's game. If Naomi has, or if Codokay not pulling a hero here is disastrous, or a Brave Resolve. I think if Codokay has, whatchamacallit, it's over. Whatever card it is I'm thinking of. Catastrophe Cannon. Deletion doesn't get rid of enough items. There's nowhere you can move Omnimon while Codokay is at the far right to where he can't be hit with a Catastrophe Cannon. And then after the Catastrophe Cannon, you just use Armageddon's ability to blow up Imperial Dramon. Man, all because Naomi didn't draw a Nerve Tanker and Artillery off the top. That hurts. That hurts. And then didn't get a... Man, the luck, even though the Fate deck on Gendo did not give Codokay the super lucky mass production Ava pull, not pulling a hero here will still give Naomi the game. If she has, she must have it. She didn't go to Fate. Man, that's gotta hurt. No matter who lost here, it was gonna feel really bad. I think Naomi probably got the shorter end of the stick out of this one, luck-wise, but man, that was close. What an incredible game. Man, we gotta do a game 5 now. I won't lie, I was kind of hopeful that it was just over. Because, man, I've been recording for 2.5 hours. It's gonna be such a long video. My computer is gonna hate rendering this overnight. Man, is my computer gonna hate rendering this. We're going to a 5th and final game. I think this is the first tournament arc that's gone to all 5. I think the first tournament arc was Lark and Azur, and I think Lark just won 3 games in a row. I can't remember if Azur took a game off of him. Azur might have taken 1 game off of him. I don't remember. I think in last year's tournament arc, Butter beat Egg once, but then Egg won 3, so they didn't go to a full 5. I think it was 4 games, I think. Or did Egg? Egg didn't 3-0 Butter, did he? I think Butter won one of those games, right? I can't remember. Maybe that was also a 3-0. But, here we are. This one is definitely a full 5, and Naomi does not want to go up against Orochimaru, even if it means playing. I think that Naomi has won both Isabella matchups very surprisingly, so honestly, why would she be afraid? She also won the Orochimaru matchup, didn't she? No, did Naomi... I've already forgotten what games have happened in this one, dude. It's been 2.5 hours. I'm losing my mind. Naomi does get to counterpick here, and again, there goes Merrick. I'm glad we got to see that one Merrick game. Thank you, Codokay, for giving us that one Naomi Merrick game. It was beautiful. That was probably my favorite match of the entire tournament, was that Merrick Isabella game. And it will be Isabella. Again, I don't think Isabella really has counterpicks, except maybe Merrick, I'm learning now, who is banned. So, who is Naomi going to play here? Please don't pick Tetsuo again. I don't think my heart can take it. I know you came close, but like, man, I don't think Tetsuo likes this matchup at all. You came close, but I think also Naomi had 3 whiffed hallucination fates, if I remember right. So that was pretty lucky for Tetsuo in the first place. Naomi's thinking very hard about this. This is for all the marbles. Whoever wins this one is the winner. Honestly, I would have banned Isabella and dealt with Orochimaru. Played Loxus or yelled about into Orochi. Light! I don't know about this one, Chief. I feel like Light hates this matchup. Isabella is so good at uncovering. Okay, Light can win this matchup, especially... I mean, again, anyone can win any matchup, but Light can get the advantage in this matchup because, A, he's going first, which means he gets a yellow box turn for discarding and fading. B, if he can get some early... If he can get an early Fate Lock and get some, like, lucky early patient plottings or whatnot, if he can get to, like, 3 or 4 names before Demon List starts playing out heroes, he can be in a really good position. You better Fate first before you play anything. Why would you... You gotta see if you're getting a Fate Lock or not. There's Norman. What if you'd gotten Connie and then you could have played patient plotting? Like, what then? No discard? I don't know how Naomi plays Light. I only really know how Lark plays Light, and the way Lark plays Light kind of gives me a heart attack at times. Did get a hero on the first Fate, which is very good. It's not likely, I would say, but it's quite possible to not get a hero on the... what is it? It's 8 heroes, right? So 8 out of 15 cards. I think it's like a 60% chance of pulling a hero when you pull 2 cards out of 8 out of 15 or something like that. Lark has told me the math on this before, but I don't remember it. We are going to see Naomi not going for another Fate, but just going to hopefully get an early Shinigami Eyes. There's no way that a Fate is happening here this early and all. So this is kind of what Naomi needs, is to get a couple of early names before Isabella. Ooh, Grandmother Sarah early is very good for Codokay. The 2 cards you want to see early is Isabella or Grandmother Sarah and Demon List. But this is kind of what Naomi needs for this matchup to go well. Getting L's name is very unfortunate. You don't want to see that. You want to see names of people that you'll actually be able to kill soon. But, man, how different Death Note would have been if Light just got his name immediately. Got L's name immediately. Connie for a Fate Lock here is pretty great, especially if a patient plotting or something can happen. We're actually seeing Naomi check her hand to see if she can set up anything crazy with a Connie Fate Lock. She really does need to get some early Fate Locks before Isabella gets things swinging. She also has to hope that Isabella doesn't have True Colors, like, out the gate, because True Colors will undo any Fate Locks whatsoever. But Naomi really just needs to net, like, at least 2, but ideally, like, 3, maybe even 4 names. Would also really help if she could luck into some of the names like Aizawa's. Luck into the ones to actually clear a territory a bit before it gets flooded. I think if you get flooded... Like, Light can play flooded with Amnesia and whatnot, but if Naomi gets flooded here with... If Naomi gets flooded and can't clear them out before Isabella gets in the groove of being able to jump Fate locations, then Isabella will have a very easy time keeping Light flooded. Naomi is thinking incredibly hard about what she's playing this turn. What on earth is in her hand that's taking this much thought? Debating playing a Desperate Gambit, maybe? Light gets really complicated the further the game goes, so I really would not be losing this much time like this. God of the New World into Shinigami. That was a really long time to come up with that play. And then also throwing out a misinfo. Alright, fair enough. Shouldn't be able to clear Norman out here, which is good. Gonna see a They Know to get a card out. Something that Grandmother Sarah will instantly schedule. You know you're not getting faded next turn because there's no way Naomi is passing up on the Shinigami Eyes. Then also getting a premium farm out there. quite likely to trigger once kills start happening. Really wants Aizawa's name here. Ooh, that's lucky. Ooh, that's lucky. Unless you were planning on Desperate Gambiting this turn. Honestly, if you have a Desperate Gambit, I would hold it now. I would wait. Ryuk Gaming does not play the game like Lark, confirmed. And then the other Shinigami Eyes. Okay, this is the really strong start. That will trigger premium farm. This is the really strong start that I was talking about. This is what Naomi kind of needs for Light to be able to do well in this matchup. And we're seeing here that Codokay is not fading, actually, going straight to hopefully pull Emma, ideally, is who she wants to see with Demon List here. Got Gilda instead. Not great, but it is what it is. Immediately bedtiming her to 0 is very strong, and I think we saw Mom is the enemy discarded also. And then a daily report to gain 3. This is honestly a really good position for what are we doing here? Oh, doing the daily report to discard because of Norman instead, which will trigger a misinfo that does nothing. This is a very strong Isabella start, I would say. Going to the bottom Fate and getting a Fate on. Doing a Prison Break to do. Yep, this is the right thing to do. And now you can move Ryuk and get a double Shinigami Eye name. Oh, man, this is looking really, really, really good for Naomi. Like, incredibly so. Holy cow. That's going to be 4 names. 5 names! Oh, my goodness! Naomi is anointed by the power of both God and anime. This is insane. Getting Connie to be able to do these Fate locks, getting the Shinigami Eyes, Ryuk, Mikami, and Patient Plotting, all in the top, like, 12 cards, and God of the New World was in there, is insane. Got Ray, so it's a 5 strengther. That's great. That was a guaranteed 5 strengther. I think all the 3s have passed. Or no, wait, no. Phil. Could have gotten Phil. So lucky to get... it was in... unless Phil is in the discard, I'm not sure. But that was in Naomi's favor to get Ray or Emma. Emma would have been better, but Ray is good. You know you're not getting faded on this next turn because you can't pass up the double Shinigami Eyes. That's 5 names immediately. And we haven't seen any Desperate Gambits or Social Manips yet, so it's actually... Wow, this is... Isabella is insane and can do some crazy stuff, so who knows? It could flip back in Codokay's favor, but this is a god tier start for maybe I haven't seen Codokay play enough Isabella. I don't remember seeing They Knows being played this much when up against Isabella's. I had played Codokay's once or twice. So this is going to be 5 names. Gets Watari along with L and Aizawa already. Moves here and gets 2 more, which is Nier and Mogi. Pretty good names. Matsuda, Mello, and someone else is missing. Ide. And is going straight for a Desperate Gambit. Gets Mello's name. This Fate off the top is going to be Alias, so that just puts a name back. Probably, honestly, the best Fate you could hope from here. Because you just don't want Light to enter Showdown. Going to play Kiyomi to draw more. Oh, man. Alright. Free playing tag, 1 cost family dinner. Gonna get Ray down a little bit. Playing tag does nothing here. Going over to Grassy Field to get some more Fate pressure. I guess what Naomi really wants right now is to be moving Ryuk a lot and getting eyes. The positioning of Kiyomi and Mikami is not great for it right now, but it is what it is. Imprison might slow him down. Maybe. If he doesn't just have 2 challenges in hand. Or 2 schemes, I mean. Yeah. Pays 1 for Last Resort, plays Paranoid, and then gets rid of Imprison. That's just gone. And then you move Ryuk, and it's a free eyes. It's going to be really hard to stop this Ryuk shuffle. It's going to... Yeah, you got to get Mellow, like, ASAP to put an end to that. Emma is an amazing pull here to get Gilda back up to 1. Or back up to 2, I mean, to just 1/1 token. I think this, not only has this villain deck been ideal for Naomi, this Fate deck order has been ideal for Naomi. I'm telling you, Naomi is, like, anointed. It's insane, bro. How? How is Naomi like this? Codokay really needs to play True Colors. But also, Codokay, this is the one time that True Colors whole can't lose strength thing might actually matter. Because Codokay needs to be, like, going faster here. Because she is in a race, but I do not think it's a race that she can win. We're just going to see a yellow box turn coming up here from Naomi. Throw out a Fate, or throw out a Scheme, probably, like Battle of Wits or something. Or a Misinfo or Cure Cult would also be fine. Getting free time to weaken them back down, get Gilda back to 0, get Ray to 4. So that Mom is an enemy didn't end up doing much, or the Emma, rather, didn't end up doing much, sadly. It's scary that Codokay is still in this, with how incredible this has been for Naomi. Because Codokay just needs to, Cure Cult is great here for, that is fantastic for, Naomi. Prison Break Connie. That could be Harvest, though, which means you would open up the top Fate. Honestly, I could see just Insider's Knowledging here. Take away 2 power and, take away the... Or Norman. This is probably like Harvest or something. I would take away the token and make the full Grandmother Sarah play. I would do Insider's Knowledge here. I would do Insider's Knowledge and put 1 token on this. It probably messes it up anyway. It could be True Colors. That's the thing, is if it's True Colors, you want Norman. If it's Harvest, you want Insider's Knowledge. It's time to go. Okay. Well, I would have moved Gilda in, so that's also nice. This is going to trigger Cure Cult, which is going to let another free Eyes play, so... Matsuda can stop this, but I think Matsuda is the... Nier. Nier could maybe stop it? Matsuda stops it. But it lets, it's going to let Naomi go back to the top Fate next turn, which sucks. Doesn't have Matsuda's name, though. But, will have Kiyomi as an option on the following turn. Man, it's like Isabella can get away with some nonsense. Gonna do it like that, actually? I wouldn't do it like that, because now Naomi gets to Fate and play Social Manip. Like, Naomi is gonna Fate you no matter what. Why set up where Naomi can Fate and also get a name token? A name token and then move to Mikami and get the 7th name right after. Yeah, I don't know about that. Playing Harvest hard from the hand to get rid of Connie to open back up Small Forest. Very important to do. Yeah, if Naomi has Social Manip, you just go to Task Force here, I think, and manipulate Matsuda to get that 6th name, and then you're set up to get the 7th from Mikami. Maybe get a hero or a Prison Break to cover the top Fate here. Crone isn't out or anything, and there's no scheduled cards, so it would stop a Fate from happening. Going to Light's apartment, really? And manipulating him here. That's also fair. Okay, so you're just betting it all. So Naomi has to Fate, otherwise it's game. That is insane. I don't think I would have done that play. Like, as funny as it is and as dangerous as it is with the open Fate, I don't think it really did anything. Also, again, Naomi is actually super close to winning. She just has to move them over and harvest them. The problem is that she has no power, and she has to keep Fating, and she can't keep going between her Fates at this rate. So honestly, doing this play and forcing the Fates might be the way to go. Yeah, just put L there, and... Yeah, I'm really confused as to why... I mean, I understand why. It's because she won if a hero wasn't pulled there, but something was going to be pulled there that stopped this. I would have left them separate to get the, to get a guaranteed name. But also, if Naomi has the other Social Manip, she can Social Manip L and get the 7th name. The problem here is that she doesn't have a way to move the... She could Amnesia and then do the top move action to, like, get Mikami or Kiyomi where she wants him to be. Seen a big discard and then a draw. Codokay has a big problem in that she has no power right now. She does get to clash Emma when she goes back to the bottom Fate, which is very good for her. This game is by no means over, even though Naomi is in an insane position. Naomi really needs to get these next 2 names in the next, like, 2 turns, because the fact that she got so many names so fast gave an opening for, it's also very unfortunate she hasn't gotten Matsuda's name. Not doing the bottom Fate Amnesia move to get a name at Yagami Resonance is interesting, because you really want to get Matsuda's name, but also getting locked into Amnesia would be pretty rough right now. We're going to see Phil here. And that's going to double stack that and take away the Emma Clash, which I think is worth opening up that gain 1 discard, honestly. Really just wants to keep Fate Locks alive. Light thrives on Fate Locks, especially if he can, especially when he's only got these last 2 tokens to go. Do you guys remember when Light got 3 tokens in 1 turn? There's no threat of Light getting a name here, so this is definitely the turn to go and gain your power at the gate, because Codokay is desperately in need of it. And honestly, Codokay doesn't want to go to Grassy Field until she can open back up Small Forest, because she does not want to be Fate Locked, because getting Fate Locked could decide the game for her. All of Naomi's really good name-getting cards are in the discard, though, so unless she starts finding a way to reposition Kiyomi and Mikami, she's going to have a hard time getting these last 2 names. I think she has 1 more Social Manip, so a Task Force turn to Fate and Social Manip L to get the 7th name would be really good. We're going to see a double whatchamacallit here. I think this is the turn you go to Task Force and Fate to try and mess this up somehow if you can. A Prison Break on Emma just to go back here and, like, strengthen Ray would also be really nice. We are going to see the Task Force turn. What are we going to get here? Prison Break and Insider's Knowledge. Probably Prison Break Emma to hit Ray. Unfortunately, that puts Emma back in Clash range, which you don't like. You could also move Norman to cover the gain 1 discard. And discard one of these face downs and just hope you get whatever the one that Naomi really cares about is. Or Codokay really cares about is. I can't believe how, like, close this game feels despite, like, a Light game that goes this lucky for Light. If he loses this game, I'm going to be astonished. If Naomi loses this game as Light, I'm going to be, like, blown away. Because, man, was it an insanely good Light start. The only thing really holding Naomi back right now is that she didn't get Matsuda's name. If she had gotten Matsuda's name, she would be in a much stronger position. I really think that she misplayed by trying to go for game by moving Mikami to Kiyomi. I think even if Codokay hadn't gotten a hero on that Fate, I think Complications stopped it from getting all of the names. Something else stopped it from getting all the names. Gonna move Norman and discard one of the face downs. There was a lot in the Fate deck that stopped the double eyes into game. Got rid of True Colors. That's pretty great. Very good hit. And especially with the reshuffle here, Codokay has to, like, get True Colors back in hand to be able to murder people with it to get out of her showdown quickly. We are going to see a Social Manip, and there is Matsuda's name. That's what she wanted to see. She's just got to find a way to get this last name. I think she should have a Desperate Gambit left. If she drew into the Desperate Gambit, she could Desperate Gambit into Showdown, and then this is going to be... Ooh, we haven't seen Rem yet either, so easy way to take care of L. Losing True Colors there is a really unfortunate for Codokay, because without True Colors to double kill at Small Forest and open it back up, Vita is huge here as well. Without being able to open back up Small Forest to get Fates available is going to put her in a very rough spot. Man, this is nerve-wracking. She's going to go here and just move probably Ray and then clash Emma. She just wants to get Emma off the board so that Prison Breaks can't move Emma into good positions. How far are we from a reshuffle? Very far. Won't have to worry about Emma probably for the rest of this game. Also does not want to be playing schemes right now. Oh, you know what? I don't think we've seen a Justice Planned. A Justice Planned could get into Showdown right here. Play a scheme and then Justice Planned. I think that's the best option that Naomi has right now. Looks like she didn't have it, though. Connie here is pretty good. Mom as an enemy is actually great. I'd probably Mom as an enemy Ray. I think Mom as an enemy on Ray is definitely the play here. I could also see Connie. It depends on if Naomi has something that can, like, basically set up game, she could do that. Because with True Colors, I think... Did she bell back True Colors? I don't think so. So, unless she lucked into True Colors at the top, it's going to be hard for her to clear this. Also, did she not clash Emma on her turn? Did she want to leave Emma in play for some reason? I wonder why she did that. There are a lot of good plays that could happen here, but I It's going to be the Fate Lock instead of the Mom is an Enemy. Very fair. Oh, she has Patient Plotting. It's so over. Discarding Chief Yagami here is interesting, I'd say. Kill Matsuda, kill Matsuda, kill Matsuda, kill Matsuda. Can't be forgetting to kill Matsuda there. Like, going here and doing, like, hero move, like Shinigami Eye, or just normal move action Shinigami Eye's nonsense could, like, set up game, especially with Rem. We are going to see the Harvest on Gilda, specifically. With this many heroes out, even if she manages to get Rei, that's showdown. Matsuda should be dead, but he isn't. Naomi can very easily set up game here. And she has these eyes here to potentially hit L. The problem is that L is the one on the eyes. I think the social manips and the other thing is gone. And then, yeah, moving here sucks. Oh, delete is great, though. That gets you out of it. And then you just move L to the left and then kill L at the end of your turn, and then you have the Shinigami eyes. Honestly, I would, yeah, I was going to say, I would move Kiyomi out. Kiyomi or Mikami just to have more options. Naomi is going to get one Fate here. Should get an accusation, I think, but that accusation isn't really going to save the day here. It's kind of over. There's a world where Codokay pulls this out, but I doubt it. That True Colors discard stopping her from opening up Small Forest, I think, killed her. She needed True Colors to, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that she didn't hard play it. But, kind of needed True Colors to get this open to be able to put the Fate pressure needed to stop, to potentially stall Naomi's endgame. Even if she manages to get Rei in the next turn, like, if you give Naomi 2 turns here, then Naomi will win. Mogi and Mello. Doesn't matter. Honestly, Mogi might have given you a better chance of getting out of this, but I don't think it matters. You just go to the top Fate, you blow up Mello, super Fate Lock, next turn you move to Kiyomi, get the name, kill it. Yeah. This is going to be game. They're going to play it out, obviously, but this is going to be game. It's going to take one more turn from each player, but unless I'm missing something, I do not think it is possible for Codokay to get another Fate off. And Naomi should very easily be able to see that this is game. What an insane light game this has been. Yeah, you just go to your top Fate. Moving Kiyomi was definitely the play earlier. You go to your top Fate, you discard to, like, try and draw delete or Rem in case you need it for some reason. You kill Mello with your ability. It's like, it's super over. Go to Kiyomi next turn, get L's name, just kill him the old-fashioned way. Mom is an enemy Rei, just to make sure that, like, Codokay isn't even going to be able to get into Showdown. What an insane light game. What have I... Dude, yeah, put Mello in your villain discard. It doesn't matter at this point. But, like, I swear, Naomi is the luckiest player I've ever seen. Very, very skilled. Again, I want to make sure that none of you misunderstand what I'm saying here. Naomi is one of the best players in the game, undoubtedly. One of the best Annabelle players. But, man, is she also just ridiculously lucky. What are you playing Rem? You doing the Rem kill? What are you doing? Are you double justice planning? It's BM. And that gets L's name, and then you kill L. What a game. What a crazy, crazy game. I am astonished at that light game. It could not have gone any better for Naomi if Naomi had set the deck for herself. That was insane. What a game to end on. That Merrick game, was that Merrick versus Orochimaru? That Merrick and Orochimaru game, I think, was just one of the best games of all of Tournament Arc. I'm so glad we got to see that in Tournament Arc. But great play from both players. Naomi is our champion in first place. Codokay gets second place. I'm going to stop talking here, and I'll record this later in the bracket thing so we can see the whole beautiful bracket as I do my my final outro for this year's Tournament Arc. So we'll be getting a jump cut to the bracket right about now. And so with that, this year's victor with a 3-2 win will be Naomi. Codokay will be taking second place. Very great games from both players. Great stuff in general. Great showing this year for Tournament Arc. Big thanks to everyone who partook in the qualifiers, who partook in the tournament proper for making it through qualifiers. And special thanks I want to give to to our judges this year. We had D. Gessner, Doc, and then our usual QA judges, Falk, Butter, and Lark. Thanks to all of them for judging the games that they did to help make this happen, and for all the participants in all this year. It was a great tournament arc this year. Always love getting to put this event on, and I'm looking forward to doing Tournament Arc 2026 next year. So, again, congratulations to Naomi on first. Congrats as well to Codokay and Quantum for second and third. Great stuff. Thanks everyone for participating, and thank all of you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this year's tournament arc, and I hope you're excited for what we get to see next year's, where we'll have more villains, maybe some different faces, maybe some returning faces. Who knows? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. If you want to get involved and maybe join the competitive scene, there's a link to the Discord in the description. Come on and join in. Join the Annaville fun. It's a great community, I'd like to say. But that is going to be it for this year's tournament arc. It's been a blast, and I hope to see you all for the next one. Until then, farewell.